Hello, everyone. And I am Legacy Moon, and this is True Crime and Mysteries. Please, y'all, give it up for my guest, the one, the only V. Lenore. How you doing, V?
Hey, how are you, Legacy Moon?
I'm wonderful, wonderful. Why
I'm
do I keep
tired.
hearing? I hear an echo.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Let's see.
Um, I know you probably. I figured you'd be tired, and actually, I am too. I am very tired and
Lord,
sleepy.
girl. You still hear echo now?
Um, no. Mm-mm.
Okay, good, good, good. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm tired too. And like I said, I figured you would be too. So we're not gonna be long.
Okay.
We
Okay.
really aren't. But let me first speak to everyone. We've got Leo Lady, Dimples, Wimples, Rossi, B. Williams, Shirley's Divorce Finally, Michi 3, Miss Nisi, Casino Lady, Justin's Mom, Delicate Dale, G Creates, I Am Coco. Okay, we've got NPR Nerd, Aunt Nettie, Siri Colette. We've got Black but Not Bitter, Nikki G. How is everyone doing? Now, if you look at the title, we are presenting the book of Nesto Isms and Schisms. And the thing of it is we're not even going to hear from Nesto tonight. No, we are not. Because believe it or not, hey, Salty Buzzard, believe it or not, I have managed to find someone who butchers up the English language just as bad as him. I know you don't believe that, but it is the truth. Hey, it's too complicated. So, how's everything, be?
Oh, everything's okay. Honey, I don't know why I'm so tired, but I am. I slept until probably 2 p.m. and then went back and took a nap around 6ish and just woke up. I'm tired as hell.
Well,
Oh
I
god.
I had a nap earlier,
Mhm.
but I didn't want to take one this like later on this afternoon because I was afraid I wouldn't get up or I'd be up
Mhm.
too late. So I said I better not. I better just chill. So that's what I did. Not, but I'm tired. I was up most of the night, like coughing, or when I did go to sleep, I would wake back up coughing. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if it's a new flower blooming and maybe it's just getting to me, but oh my gosh.
Mm.
Let me see. We got Natasha Raise a Glam, and I'll do it on Monday. Mixtress Monica. Now, I don't know. See, I hear the feedback again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll try
Uh,
to stay on mute then when I'm not speaking.
okay. Hey, Jet Black Straight and Mixtress Monica text toy coffee is brewing. How are you doing? Yeah, Dimples Wimples said it was an echo too. Um, my platform. I don't think sometimes I think it has an issue with me. And then today I said I think I'm in the wrong studio, but I said, just whatever. Nobody will know but me unless I tell it, and I just told it. So there we go. We are going to get started tonight. While y'all are coming in, Rossi is here, aren't you, Rossi? Did I speak to you, Rossi? I think you're here, and I didn't speak to you. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know, but I think you're here. I think I saw you earlier. We're going to get into the show. Siri Colette said, V. Lenore, just as your body was getting used to Cali time zone, you're back on the East Coast. We understand. Hey, Mocha and Dimples. Oh, I did, Rossi. Oh, okay. Um, yeah, Native is okay, Michi 3. He's good. He's good. Yeah. We'll be on Friday and we'll talk about his week. Hey, Tanya B here. How are you doing? So, y'all, I want to get into some. Well, first of all, before I actually get to the highlight of our show, I want to play a news clip about because we do body cams over here, and I want to do a news clip that I think that y'all will find interesting, and I would like to hear your opinions about it. Hey, Life Unleashed. Let me get this started here. Okay, let me share my screen. Let me get to the right place. Here we go. Let me add V up here. Okay. Why am I so Oh, I know why I'm so big. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna get this clip pulled up, and I'm anxious to see what y'all think about it. Here we go. Oh no, I gotta do this first. Okay, y'all ready? Hey, Del Sol. Shirley's divorce finally. Okay, here we go, y'all.
This afternoon, we're learning more about the moments leading up to a gunfight that wounded a Marion County deputy. Investigators told us yesterday the woman accused of shooting the deputy pulled a gun out of her pants after she was arrested. This morning, Rihanna Hardin faced a judge charged with attempted murder, and court documents show us the deputy she's accused of shooting is really lucky to be alive in this situation. West 2's Tony Atkins live at the sheriff's office. And Tony, deputies say Hardin was searched repeatedly.
Yeah, Jesse, and somehow this gun never turned up until they say she opened fire. And now a judge has her in jail held without a bond to make sure she doesn't try to hurt anyone else.
Now, if I were the police officer, I would, or officers who were on the scene, I would kind of be a bit embarrassed that she was searched multiple times, and this happened.
I was gonna say I saw this clip before, and I thought to myself, how is it possible that she was searched multiple times? Do you think she was? I would love to see the body cam
I
because
know,
it makes no sense to me. But go ahead. I'm
and I
finished.
don't think that they're not going to release it anytime soon. I bet you. But well, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I jumped ahead too much. V, what do you think about the Diddy verdict?
Oh my gosh.
I forgot. I forgot to ask that before I started this. What do you think? What are your thoughts on it?
I listened to, look, I've listened to multiple people covering the case, multiple attorneys breaking down what the um, what the jury instructions were, what the definitions were for each of the counts, including the RICO. I don't understand how they landed where they did. I personally do not understand how they landed there. Um, However, he is still guilty of two counts, right? And my thought is, this is the other thing that threw me for a loop was like, okay, he has a bail, uh, uh, a bail hearing at 5. It's like, wait, what? How you get a bail or bond hearing after the convictions? That's weird. So again, I'm floored by all of it, and praise God that the judge wasn't having it.
Hmm.
But I'm still floored. It will be interesting to see what the sentencing will look like. I will say this: I was listening to Simone Redwine. Girl, is that legal? And she was saying how Diddy's request to have this bond hearing is like a truly a rich man's request. Like nobody who's in jail during their trial and they're found guilty are allowed to go home, be with their family, and come back for their sentencing. It just doesn't happen. So the fact that he even asked that was weird. But I'm floored. I'm upset about it, and I don't understand why people are still like, "Yay, free Diddy, yay!" What is there to celebrate? This mother sucker did a lot of this. He was responsible for that arson. He was responsible for bribing those people to keep that video hidden. He's beat this girl senselessly and forced these folks to have these freak offs on and on and on while misleading them to get them to do it. So I
I don't understand how you're not found guilty of X trafficking, but you're guilty of providing transportation for the ex workers. I can't. I can't make it make sense in my head. But the only other time that I know of, and that's not to say this hasn't happened before, but the woman who unalived her two grandchildren like a year apart, when she was found guilty, her attorney requested bond while she waited for sentencing, and that judge said no as well. So that happened in that case too. And they say that Diddy was pretty upset. From what I saw on CNN, they said his eyes got all big and his mouth dropped open because he really thought he could go home, because he was talking about, he has two daughters who have no parent. And I'm like, well, those same two daughters didn't have parents when he was in jail. So why can't, what's up with October? He can wait until October. They're fine. His mother, they've got a mother, they've got older siblings. I mean, they're fine. So I don't even know why that came into the equation. And I was floored. And to be honest, after hearing the verdict, it wouldn't surprise me. He can get up to 20 years, because I think it's 10 years per charge. So it wouldn't surprise me if he only got 5 years and then get out to halfway house or something after two. It wouldn't surprise me, because I'm just floored. I'm floored with all of the evidence and all of the things going on. I can't believe it. I just can't. And that goes to show you, still here we are, because I think from what I was hearing, I think that I think the jurors were kind of like, well, people like Cassie, they were in that situation and they could have left and didn't. I- I'm just thinking that this is what the jurors were thinking. And it was something that one of the news reporters said that made me think that way. That's what they were kind of leaning toward. So it just goes to show you that a woman who is in a domestic violence situation is no further in 2025 than she was in 1971 in the eyes of the law and in some people. That's the way I see it. Them folks said, I don't think the twins lived with him full time. I thought they lived with Kim's BFF and she had primary duties since Kim died. Well, he fired that lady, that it was her cousin or something. And it's my understanding that they got into it and he had fired her some years ago. And these twin girls, aren't they 18? Like, why they don't, I mean, to me, they're fine. They're fine. Who takes care of them while he's gallivanting all over the world? And then this trial was in New York, and for him to not only want bail, but bail to go to Star Island, that's in Florida, in the middle of the whatever. So he wanted to go there. Are you serious? I mean, talk about money and privilege. And at the end of the day, I think it was money and privilege. I think that got that verdict. I don't know. We have lost. Did we? I think we lost Vlenore. How did we do that? Let me see. Vlenore is gone, y'all. But I just think that there's just no value on the life of a female in a domestic violence situation, and it's awfully sad. Let me see. Some of y'all came in. D Dub, hey, D Dub, Thessy, Jewel, Peekaboo. I saw my Retta, them folks. Pen Pal 50, Mary Willis. I know I got Del Sol. Okay. So anyway, how are y'all doing? Southside Chi Town. And I think Tanya B here. I got. But I don't know if Velanor knows that she is gone, but she is. I'm sure she will be back. I don't see her in the chat, but she'll be back. So, while when I started this clip off, someone said, I can't remember who, said that this woman was not searched uh like a black woman. And I will say that like I said, as the officer who has was the one responsible for searching her multiple times, and you didn't figure out that she was armed, is just crazy. And I kind of think his career needs to be evaluated a little bit. Hey, Sonya's crack body. So let's continue playing the clip and we will. Well, why is okay? All right. Hey, Aunt Nettie. Oops.
I was gonna say, like, if you were to allow me to have a bond, then I would be able to maybe make a way to where I could pay for it.
22-year-old Rihanna Harden made her first appearance in court on Tuesday after the Marion County Sheriff's Office says she managed to shoot a deputy while she was under arrest. She's now being held with no bond.
Flight risk, being from Bay County, it would not be appropriate to set a bond for you this morning.
The Marion County Sheriff's Office says she gave a fake name during a traffic stop. They also say she had drugs on her and her license was suspended.
He then proceeded to search all her pockets where he found the methamphetamines, drug paraphernalia, and so forth. So he handcuffed her, put her in the back of his car.
As she was being
Let me
taken.
say this too also. I'm always hollering about, women when they get arrested, they're always saying, there's supposed to be a female. There's supposed to be a female. To me, what are the chances that, there are female officers, but not a lot of female officers. So, what are the chances that the time that you're arrested, there's going to be a female officer? I always say no, there's not. So, and I think that this is what they're saying. There was no female officer to search her, but we're talking about a pow pow. You found everything else. Hey, a lady and Tracy, you found everything else, and you mean to tell me you weren't able to find um, that? But yeah, she tried to unalive the deputy and then had the nerve to ask for bond so she could, pay. I guess she wanted a reasonable bond that she could pay for so that she can get out. Are you serious? Are you serious? Hey, Miss Mad About Music.
Deputies say she was seen on camera fidgeting in the back seat, and she ultimately slipped her left hand out of the cuffs and at one point covers the backseat camera.
He did recognize this, pulled her back out of the vehicle, retightened her cuffs behind her back, searched the inside of his vehicle, placed her back inside his vehicle, and when they started for the jail.
This was before she pulled this pow pow out. So on top of her have been searched multiple times before she got put in the car. She was then, when the officer saw, she was fidgeting with the camera, so she got one hand out the cuff. He pulls over, searches her again, searches the car, then puts her back in the car again and starts to head off to the jail. Okay? Keep that in mind.
She was flexible enough to be able to maneuver her hands from behind her back to lift him up and grab hold of the gun and point it at him and pull the trigger.
The deputy, grazed on the side of his face, fired back.
If the deputy had his head turned in any other position, it could have hit him directly into his side of his head.
So how was the gun missed?
Which means she would be facing an unaliving charge. And now it's funny, no one has called off what her charges were. I probably should have looked that up. But anyway, no one has called that off. But I want to know, is attempted murder one of them? Because that's what she did. She managed. If you see that car, she managed to shoot it up between her shooting and his shooting. So this is just quite ridiculous. We got Vlenore back. She's got to get her picture up there. What happened?
Oh God. Actually, I was hold on one second. Okay, Lord. I had to change devices and everything. So I told you how I've been sleeping most of the day. I guess my phone was not sleeping and decided to die while you and I were talking. So
Oh,
I was like, "Oh Lord." So I plugged it back in thinking, "Okay, I'll just talk while I plug it in," but that didn't work out so well.
yeah.
So I'm back.
I said we lost Vlenore, but I said she's coming back. I
Oh
bet you she's
Lord.
coming back.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry. What did you say about the verdict? Because I was interested to hear what you were about to say. Lord have mercy.
Well, I was saying that there's no value, I think, and we're no further in 2025 with domestic violence than what we were in 1971, as far as I'm concerned, because I do feel that the jurors felt like the women were willing participants, and they I know I remember now, they said based on like a lot of the text messages and stuff that were released, they feel like these women were willing participants. So I don't think people understand what domestic violence does to your mind,
I agree.
um, as a victim. So if you haven't experienced it, you're not going to understand why you might see text messages between Cassie and Diddy and any of the other victims, this Jane Doe person that testified. You're going to see willing participant texts because they are being abused
Trying
and
to please.
right, right.
Yeah.
um how many times did we hear about Kim Porter trying to leave? He just get her back. I think Cassie might have the first time she tried to leave, and if it wasn't for the fact that Kim Porter passed away and Diddy was just so like upset about that, Cassie might not have gotten away then. That was how
Hmm.
she really got away. So I just think that women are not valued at the end of the day. Still, we're
Not
not
even all
valued.
the women.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's how I feel about it. And I was also saying there was a woman whose trial was a few months ago where she had like 2 years apart unalive both of her grandchildren,
Mm.
and when the verdict was read, she was found guilty, and her attorney asked for bond too, while they waited for sentencing. So that's just crazy. Those twins are old. I mean, they're 18 or whatever. So I mean, I
Mhm.
don't, I don't think that they don't need any supervision, as far as I'm concerned. They've got older brothers, they've got relatives, and who keeps
Mhm.
them while he's gallivanting all over the world, trafficking
Mhm.
women? So as far
Mhm.
as I'm concerned, they're okay. His mother ain't doing nothing, I'm sure, but getting more
Mhm.
platinum blonde wigs. So he's good. They're good. And he could
Mhm.
stay right where he is. It's bad enough they're considering, I hear, letting R. Kelly out because his life is in danger.
Child, bye. That's the other thing. When I saw how they out here begging for him to be free too is weird. It is so weird. So what if his life is in danger? So is every other prisoner.
Okay. Okay.
You shouldn't
And
do that
and
shit you was doing. I
And
mean, I
what
don't.
what happened? See, I'm a fat mouse is so busy out there doing her sidewalk reporting. She ain't even thought about R. Kelly or Nesto. She just standing out on the corner doing her little reporting. I said, ain't that a shame? She done abandoned her people in the past for her
Well,
future.
she abandoned R. Kelly a while back because they started confronting her about that missing money.
Mm-hmm.
So, so when that money came up missing, she was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna walk away." She did some little speech and said, "I wish him well," and this, that, and the other, and then kept it pushing. But I still feel like, well, I don't get why are you walking away now?
Right, right.
So, mhm, mhm,
Exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, that was my opinion on that. Now, the coffee is brewing said, "There you go, legacy." I'm serious. Shoot. Now,
Mhm.
V, I know you missed most of this, but
I'm
this
sorry.
this this young lady, she
Yeah.
was searched multiple times,
So
right?
they say. Yeah.
And they didn't find the he even was driving down the street, making his way downtown, okay, right down the street, right, and he noticed
Mhm.
she was messing with the camera, and he was like, uh-oh, let me pull over. And he takes her out the car, he recuffs her, searches her again, searches his car, okay, everything's clear, and he puts her back in there, and she gets that hand around, because she's so flexible. She's able to get her
Mhm.
hands around down in them pants and get a pow pow out and hit it toward him. And if he had been an inch a certain way, she'd have got him. So yeah, yeah, that's what's going on with her. I
And
wouldn't tell nobody.
no. None, nobody. But then look, her request at the I don't know if we've gotten there yet, but her request in the chorus is as bad as Diddy saying, "Can I come out? Can I get?"
Yeah, yeah, we got to her speak and talk about, um, can I get out? No, you can't get out. Not at all.
Right. Are you kidding me?
We've got a member milestone from hey Ray Della Lewis from Attitude and Tylenol. She has been a member for 6 months, and she said maybe now Miss Janice can get some human hair wigs.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong thing. Thank you, Attitude and Tylenol for the member milestone. And thank you so much for supporting. Let me get on the right thing. Is this nope, that ain't the right one. Let me find the right one. Because I want to get that's the only thing I hate about this. Not getting to the right screen so that V could be on here. No, I'm too far. I'm too far. Wait a minute. I'm coming. I'm coming. Do 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 do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I still can't find it. Is this it? That's not it. No. Where's the right one? Where is the right one? That's the only thing I hate about this. That ain't the right. Well, good God, where is it? It must be where. Where the heck is it? I'm looking for it. Is this it? Okay, well that's just. Wait a minute. There we go. I got
Oh,
it
okay.
now. Now they can hear you.
Hilarious. Hilarious. See, and
Oh.
I'm supposed to be learning this program like at any moment so that I can because I don't have the MacBook with me. So for this next month, I'll be working off my PC. So I need to try to get over there. Now you got me scared. Okay. Talking about the right one. Like, oh Jesus.
Well,
What am I gonna do?
that's only cause me. I wanna have all these fantastical backdrops, so I have so
Oh,
many. I have
oh,
that's all.
okay,
That's
okay.
all. Let me see. Dimples Wimples says she must have a hanging cat that looks like a pow pow. Oh, Dimples Wimples.
Oh, it must be hard and it like steel as well. Or I just
Right.
don't understand how you hide a whole something's not right about that story. Somebody either A did not frisk this lady correctly or B, I don't know. Did she I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I don't understand, especially they are stressing how she was checked multiple times. And you mean to tell me all those multiples and nobody found a pow pow? Nobody? Come on now. So it's ridiculous. It is very ridiculous. And she looks. You were able to find substances on her and everything else, but you couldn't find that.
Mhm.
Okay, that makes no sense to me. And this is my thing. If she got out once, she wouldn't get out a second time. So I want to
Right.
know what kind of retraining this officer is going to go through because that is ridiculous. The excuse that there wasn't a woman officer available, I'm not trying to hear that because
No.
there are not that many female officers on the force
Period.
where you can have one for every shift to be able to check all the women who get arrested. I'm not trying to hear that. Mm-mm, not at
And
all.
they often say you hear them say it in these body cams quite
Hmm.
often like, look, that's not a thing. Like I want a female to dress well, you may want that, but that may not be the case and we still going to have to pat you down and we're still going to have to do whatever. So that it makes no sense to me. None.
And that's the thing. The officers constantly tell them that's not a thing. But in
Right.
this case, we want to make it a thing. Oh, there was no female to pat her down. What? No,
Mm-mm.
that doesn't work. That does
Try
not
again.
work for me at all. Let me see. Let's hear the rest of this foolishness.
Okay.
Police records show Harden had the gun tucked inside shorts she was wearing under her pants.
the reality of it is there's not always a female deputy available for searches. And he did do a pat down of her. He checked her waistband, checked all of her pockets.
Public Information Officer
Uh-uh.
Valerie Strong says deputies are trained to do thorough
Look at
pat
that
downs and
car.
says a number of unique
Wow.
factors led to this, including her baggy clothes, small frame, and flexibility.
It's
Mm-mm.
unique. It's not something that an average citizen can move and do. And it was just by the grace of God that the officer just received the graze wound.
Now, the sheriff's office here, they say that the body camera video from that shooting will be made available after the Florida Department of Law Enforcement completes its investigation. But coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to take a look at the type of revolver deputies say Harding used when she fired those shots. I'm covering Marion County live in Ocala. Tony Atkins, West 2 News.
What difference does it make? I don't care what the caliber is. What difference does it make?
I'll be honest, I want to know how big was this it was either an itty bitty teeny weeny itsy bitsy pow pow, or I just don't, I'm sorry. I don't understand any of this. But okay.
Oh, yo, they're blaming it because she had shorts on up under her sweatpants or whatever she had. So,
And
don't men have shorts on up under their stuff all
right.
the time? So, I don't want to hear this. This is crazy to me. I
It
don't want to
is.
hear it at all. Hey, allegedly in Harmon, only me 23. Sound check Annette. I think Jet Black Straight is here. I think I said hey to Aunt Nettie and Linda. So yeah, that story that just tripped me out. Now,
Mm.
for I'm gonna save. I got something really for the last clip I'm gonna show. But this next thing we are gonna look at. Did I download this? I thought I did. Let me look and see. Did I? Um Well, first, I'm going to show you the shortest. I am going to show you how a sovereign citizen arrest should go. Um, but first, before I do that, I'm going to read this super chat that I got from Miss Principal. She says, wait, let me heart that. She says, thank goodness it wasn't Orlando. No, it wasn't Orlando. But I think this was wasn't this in Georgia? But she's
He said
from Florida.
Okalaka something. He said
O-
I don't know where he said some
Ocala is okay.
Ocala.
Some Ocala is very country.
It does sound country, don't it?
Ocala.
Ocala. I don't think that's Georgia. Is there an Ocala, Georgia? Is there?
It must be Florida. I might be when I tell you since I
Child.
was trying to stay awake. I can't tell you how many body cams and stuff. I was just all over the place. So I might be thinking about something else I watched, but where somebody was from Florida but was arrested in Georgia. Might probably was. But hey,
I made a
make it
comment
rain.
the I
Go
made
ahead.
a I made a comment the other day that was after I said, like, after the live, I was like, no, that's not true. I forgot when I was talking about the body cams typically are from, it feels like they're either from Florida or Ohio, but no, it's South Florida, Ohio, and Chambly, damn Georgia. I'm so over Chambly. Jesus, it's always some shit at a hotel.
Hotel.
Oh my God. These people in Chambly,
And,
Lord.
and what make it so bad is I said Chambly. They've got now native said they got a whole bunch of police officers and they really must simply because every time they're at one of these hotels it'd be like 15, 16 of them showing
Yes.
up. I'm like they ain't got is nothing going on in Chambly that these police officers can't be elsewhere, like nothing. And it
And is
is.
everybody running scams at the hotels in Chambly? Like, they ain't got no other crimes going on, just at these hotels.
I saw this one guy. He was there with a girl, a
Mhm.
woman, and he kept saying, "Oh, my baby mama, she the one who called on me because she had said he stole the car, but according to him, she had rented it for him."
Mhm.
and he doesn't understand why. She trying to cause problems for him. Child, the man, they went in there and searched the room. That man had IDs, machines, all kinds of stuff in there to do all kinds of fraudulent stuff. And then when the
Wow.
officer got ready, they took the female out. When they got ready to take him out, he says, "Can I put my shirt on?" The
Mhm.
officer said yes. He goes to get his shirt off the bed to put it on, and I'll be doggone if it wasn't a gun under his shirt.
What?
The officer was really lucky that the guy just truly wanted to only put his shirt on, because he could have gotten him. Yes. Yes, because they had already gotten, all these pals. And like I said, this man had everything in this room. And he had only been in there one night. And I'm like, gosh. But yeah, he lifted up the shirt to put it on, and there was one on the bed. I said, man, this officer is lucky. He is, and then the guy had warrants. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just ridiculous, just ridiculous.
The other day I was watching, I believe this was in Chambly too. It wasn't a hotel, but it was a an apartment that the people who were living there had left that day, had turned in the keys and everything, and then there was this huge party. Did you see that? It was a huge party. It was like a bunch of young folks,
A bunch of
and
yep. Mm-hmm.
then they went in there, and well, they waited a long time. I felt like they were very patient with those folks. And then the part of me felt nervous for the cops, because they were saying there's a shitload of people in there. They, like, from what they could hear, they're like, there's a
Mm-hmm.
shitload of people in there, but it wasn't a shitload of cops. And here you are having to go into a space that's completely dark. You don't know who's in there. And I mean, in that moment, I was kind of nervous for the cops,
Mm-hmm.
because I felt like, this is one of those examples. You truly don't know what you're going to deal with when you go to work on this particular day, on any given
Right.
day. And
Right.
they could have really been done up. But now, mind you, it seemed like everything was cool. But the reason why I brought that up was because you said how that guy had a whole bunch of stuff in the room. Well,
Mm-hmm.
they were able to uncover the fact that somebody had one of those key card makers,
Mm-hmm.
and were just,
Yeah.
when they turned the keys in, it didn't mean nothing, because they just went in there and duplicated a new key card,
Mm-hmm.
and came right up in there. I was like,
Right.
"What?"
Right, exactly. A lot of these body cams are, some of them are close calls. I've seen them. There's there's some other ones that I want to get into, with some neglectful parents, and I think it's two of them where the children were deceased, and
Oh, no, Jesus. See,
yeah.
those I can't watch. I see stuff like that when they start talking to these and, like I said before, I like body cams, but also like interrogation videos. Now
Hmm.
I cannot watch any interrogation videos pertaining to children, or somebody, especially a parent and their children, where they've done something to the child. I can't
Hmm.
take it. I can't handle it.
Yeah,
Ugh.
this one was, it was pretty, and it shocked me because I didn't expect that. I mean, I
Mhm.
figured that the people were on drugs or something like that, and I think they were, but
Mhm.
it just, I didn't expect, amongst all the junk, I didn't expect to see the mom and dad laying there, and the child was underneath them.
Oh my
So it's,
god.
I mean, I don't think it was an intentional thing. I just think,
Oh, I
just
still can't handle it.
neglectfulness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Ooh,
it shocked me. It did, because I'd never seen something like that before, never, on a
mm,
body cam. So I wasn't expecting that.
mhm,
But
mhm.
sure enough, the guy, and then when they got the kid, they were trying to do CPR because they thought the kid was breathing, and what it really was the death rattle is what it was. So
Oh, no.
yeah. Yeah, it was terrible. Shirley's divorce finally said, the ones with the kids I can't watch. I get pissed off,
You
but
too?
love to watch interrogations. Yeah. We're gonna start doing, in fact, we're gonna do one, we'll be doing one Friday. But
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna do
why
one
I
too.
wanted to do, the 911, things. I kinda
Yep,
wanna start off like, when I started off with funny ones, because there will be serious ones, but I still want to sometimes show that it's not always, sad. You do get some funny ones,
yeah,
like the drunk man that
yeah.
kept calling the police.
I
Well,
had
he wanted a
Wait,
ride
what
to the
happened
liquor.
to drunk man calling the police? What
I
happened?
mean, calling 911. He wanted a ride to the liquor store.
Oh, no, I didn't see that one,
So
Jesus.
he kept calling 911. And
Oh
then it
my
was another guy who was three sheets in the wind. He was calling. I don't even know what he wanted, but
mm-mm.
he was giving them the business. But yeah, that one man, he called. He wanted to ride to the liquor store. He said, "Send a sheriff. Send anybody." Because he wanted to go to the liquor store. CJ said, Legacy, what state was that in? A year or two ago, that happened to some people two doors down from me in my apartment complex. They say the parents woke up and the baby was gone. Um, I can't remember. I want to say Florida, but there are several body cams that I've seen where people have found children on highways and stuff and have stopped and got them, and the parents either weren't home, or had left home, or was in the home sleep and didn't know the kid was just all kinds of things. And
Mhm,
I even saw one where this child, he was, the mom said, I this is a sign right here. Anytime someone pulls their children out of school to homeschool, there really needs to be close attention paid to that family, because in
mhm,
this particular instance, these children didn't go to school. This little
mhm.
boy was about 4 or 5 years old. He still had on a diaper. He was nonverbal. Now, I don't know, and the police couldn't figure out either if he was nonverbal because he was maybe autistic, or if he was nonverbal because just nobody taught him how to talk. It
Mm,
was hard to call it. But I didn't like the fact that the police, they did call protective services, but like I just feel like if I find your child wandering around outside
mhm,
and strangers find this child, they call police, and
mm,
then police have to get there to the child,
mhm.
um all this time, and then the police are combing the neighborhood trying to figure out where this child
Whose
come from.
parent? Yeah.
The
Mhm,
people in the neighborhood didn't even know, because they said, well, I've never seen that child, and now, mind you, an hour has passed and the parent has does not realize that this child is missing. So I have a very big problem of her being able to take her child home and to be home with her. I think it was 5 6 children. I had a problem with that, because this thing took a whole hour,
right.
and she didn't even know the child was missing until y'all went to her door. So I have a problem with it, but they let her take the child home. It was just totally ridiculous.
Oh, I'm surprised with that. I was watching one not too long ago where it was this little baby, and you gotta this is how it would get me. If they send a baby out here in the street, if some crooks send some wandering baby in front of me, oh, I'm done. I'm going to check on that baby. They could snatch me all the way up, because I wouldn't be able to rest seeing a child wander around. And there were some really good people in the world who are like me, who will like definitely get out, make sure you're seeing about the baby. So once they had called the police in this particular case, everybody cares about the baby except for the mother, and then the mothers are oblivious that the child got out, that the
Hmm.
you know just like you said, and then they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I had to just go inside, or I had to go around the corner to the store, I ain't been gone long at all, when that's an absolute lie. I was
Right.
watching another one not too long ago. They left Did you see the one where this black lady left her baby in the car? Was it one or two kids? I think it was one. It was one daughter. Her daughter in the car. The baby was asleep, locked in the car, and she was in the gym working out.
Oh yeah, I showed that body cam. Hmm.
That pissed me off so bad. I didn't
Yeah.
know what to do. I did
And,
not know what to do.
and she kept talking about
Oh, I'm so
she had a
sorry.
flat tire. Remember,
Yeah,
she had a flat tire.
the night before.
Yeah.
What the hell that got to do with you being at the gym? And then she went from saying, I was in there for 5 minutes, or I was only in there for about 15, 20 minutes. Come to find out she had been in there an hour and a half.
Mhm.
Didn't
Yeah.
she know that every time you go in and out, they see when you come in because you have to show your card. So it shows the check-in time. She doesn't know that?
And then didn't they find her in the shower? Like they couldn't even find
Yeah,
when they went in the gym, they couldn't even find her, and she
yeah.
could not understand why she was being arrested. And she just kept talking about that tire. Yes. That tire from the from the
I can
night
show you. We
before.
had a flat tire list. I could show you. What does that have to do with this?
Yeah, she had no idea. Them folks said I had one little cousin that my mom watched, and he opened the front door with her standing there. He was two. My mom had my dad put a deadbolt at the very
Yeah.
top of the door within an
Yep.
hour.
Yep.
Says yes because the baby was already gone. They had to have the coroner come to get the baby. They were rushed. They were drug users. I'm so glad my mom took custody of five of my sisters and six kids. They were
Mm,
all my sister's six kids. They were all adults. I I mean, to me, when children are gone, this one woman, her child got out. The child was 3. Um,
mhm,
and the woman who pulled over on the road to get the child, she happened to be bilingual, and the little girl was Spanish, so she didn't know if the girl spoke. So they were trying to speak to her in English and Spanish, and the girl just didn't respond. Well, what had happened was the mother left her home while she went to the bank, and she said the reason why she left her home is because um she was watching her cartoons, and she gets all in a tizzy if you disturb her while she's watching her shows. So she figured she'd
excuse
be
me?
okay to yeah, so she figured she'd be okay to run to the bank. Yep. Left the girl, and she said, oh, she must have climbed up on the chair and unlocked the door, because and I think she knew that she could do this, but she didn't want to disturb her. So then what they have to do, they had to call her husband to come from work, because they get ready to take her to jail for leaving this baby.
Now see,
Yes.
that's one of them instances where I'd be like, now your husband need to whip your ass. Okay, he need to get a switch and just whoop your ass. Because how dare you leave a baby alone like that? I wonder if he was doing stuff. I wonder if they were in agreement to doing those types of things, or if one of them has some sense.
Right. And then this makes me wonder, well, how many times has she done this?
Exactly.
It just so happens this time, the girl's walking down on a street where cars, I mean, she had made it out the neighborhood. So the police weren't even sure which neighborhood to go in. They were like, well, let's start with this one, because they weren't sure. They were not
Mhm.
sure at all. Hey Tony, hey Bella, hey my tie. Justin's mom said, who's the boss, the kid or the mom? You have to
Right.
go with me, period. Exactly. I don't remember having a choice. Dimples Wimples said, I remember my neighbor across from me, her 3-year-old daughter walked out the front door while she was asleep, and she knocked on my door. Thank goodness she knew to come by someone she knew.
Mhm.
Yes, thank goodness, because so many things can happen. And I can't tell you how many body cams I see where the children are out, and it seems like the child's always in a diaper that's just too
Yep.
full, and
Yep.
that's all they have on is just the diaper. They have nothing else on, and they're just roaming. It could be day, it could be night.
Mhm.
It's so many of those. And I think when you look at one, I think that YouTube starts to just like recommend them to you, because I can't tell you how many children I have gotten who've been left in the car. It's
Mhm.
it's terrible. It's real terrible. But
Mm.
we are going to get into, I'm going to show y'all this body cam right here where no, first before I show you that one, I'm going to show y'all how it should go when when you are a police officer and you come across a sovereign citizen. This is what you should do.
Hey,
I'm going to show y'all. Now this one's real short. I'm going to tell you how short. It's 8 minutes.
oh
So
my
we're going to
God. Yeah, they don't, some of them don't be. How about this? I have gotten to the point where I don't even want to see the short body cams no more. Okay, because this is the way it should go. You're right, but go ahead. I haven't even seen it yet, but go ahead.
this is how it should go, and this is being brought to us by who is this? This is Body Cam Watch, okay? And
Mhm.
this is how it should go when you come across somebody on some foolishness. Y'all, look at this.
22nd, 2024, an officer conducted a traffic stop for excessive speed and an obstructed license plate.
What's this? Morning, Deputy Reagan, St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. 2 reasons I'm stopping you. 1, Pine Island, the speed limit's 25. You were going 36. Okay. That's still 10 miles per hour over the posted.
She says
I
she don't
couldn't hear what
agree
she
with that.
said.
She says she don't agree with that. I,
Okay, you don't what? You don't agree with what the laws are? You what? I
she
don't
don't
agree.
agree, that she was going as fast as he said she was going. She don't agree. See, I knew you wasn't gonna be able to understand what she said, so that's why I stopped it.
Thank you.
All right.
Speed limit, it's 25. No, it's not 25?
So I was going at 35.
So that's 10 over. You just told me that you're going 10.
So no, I wasn't going what you said. I was going 35. That's still over 25, okay? So
Right. He said she was going 36. So now she's saying, no, I wasn't. I'm going 35.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
10
These
over the
sovereign
supposed speed
citizens,
limit.
they're brilliant.
Yes, you did. You said you're going 35, right?
Yeah, but I said
That's a 25.
35.
No, ma'am. The whole thing's 25.
Okay.
The other issue is your license plate cover is illegal. You can't have a tinted license plate cover over your license plate. Before I ask for any documentation, are there any weapons in the vehicle? Guns, knives, hand grenades, tomahawk missiles? Okay.
He
Not
said
hand grenades.
tomahawk
Jeez.
missiles.
Not tomahawk missile. What the hell? What's going on in that town? Hell.
Very thorough, very thorough. Okay.
I bet you she wouldn't have been able to hide a pow pow in her panties.
Uh-uh.
Not fooling with him.
Uh-uh. All right. Watch what he do now.
I need your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance from you.
Okay. I can I just go to my job?
No. I need your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
Okay.
I am not going to ask again.
I'm not driving.
You're not
Traveling.
For those of you who may not have heard, she's not driving, she's traveling, okay?
I'm not driving. Okay.
Honey
Now,
say
I think
that
that she
said,
starts saying, go
huh?
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm so
Honey
sorry.
said that honey say that said the officer must have been through some things.
Okay. He done seen a lot. Okay. So let me add hand grenades, tomahawk, missiles. Let me add some weapons y'all hadn't even thought of. Lumchugs. What do you have anything? Swords? Anything?
Yes, he
Jeez.
was very, very clear. He wanted to cover all the things, okay?
You know what I was thinking too? I feel like moving forward, these cops should just say, ma'am, I noticed that you were traveling at a speed of blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
Then I want to hear what you're going to say about that. Okay. You were traveling then at a speed of 35. You're only allowed to travel at 25.
At
Okay.
25. Now, wait a minute. Say Jay says, you know what, V and Legacy, y'all need to watch that dash cam videos from Russia. They
What?
keep hatchets in their cars and they're not afraid to grab them and chase you.
What?
Well, I would love you got to send me those because I would love to review those.
What? Not
Mom,
Thomas. Not. Hatches in the car.
shoot.
You just get out the car and chase you down with a hatchet.
With a hatchet, yes.
Lord.
Stop me at your own risk.
Oh my
So,
God.
yeah, he wanted he there now here we go. Michi 3 said we had a sovereign citizen call the job and said she was taking over the payment on 20 and on a 2025 Hummer. Like what, ma'am? Well, what was she doing? Was she paying with money that's in the reserve? Is that how she was gonna pay? 'Cause you know how they pay.
Yeah,
You
I
know how
heard
they
you
pay.
talking about that recently. I didn't know anything about these trusts until recently. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
hmm
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
see, she's about to play with this officer. Check her out.
Okay.
Stand by. Step out.
Are you serious?
Get out of the car.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Start
God.
reading test 9, code 1.
He didn't play that. Oh, ma'am. Well, I need your we did not have no 30-minute conversation. He said,
Mm-hmm.
"Get out the car."
Mm-hmm.
He is not about to play that.
Mm-hmm. We a minute in. Okay.
Okay.
Worship 30 John.
Look, it's not even a whole lot of talking going on.
Yeah.
He
She
finished
didn't, at
with
least
her.
4216. Guys, I got
she
one
didn't give
secure
him any
so
real
far.
pushback, so that's
Sir,
good.
I'm literally on my way to work.
She advised she was traveling, not driving. 248.
Code words.
All right. Well, right now you're under arrest for failure to identify. You were told to give me your license during a lawful detainment for a traffic violation, multiple traffic violations. You advised you were not going to give it to me, and that you're not driving, you're traveling, while you're sitting in the driver's seat of this vehicle, operating on the highways of Florida.
Of where?
Florida.
That's some crazy mofos in Florida. I swear.
B,
Okay.
B. Williams says she a fool. She got the right one today. Okay, that officer was not playing. He called in the station. She says she traveling. Okay,
She
he said
wasn't trying.
no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Okay, that's how you handle a sovereign citizen. You
Yes.
get them out the car, and that's it. That is it. So she's in shock. She can't talk. She's in shock. Miss Principal said, "Y'all love picking on Florida." I can't help it.
No, Florida likes picking on the rest of the society. Y'all
Um,
make some crazy.
Delicate Dell said, "Let me see your traveler's license." That's right. We need to see your traveler's license. She's just in shock. She don't know what to do. She don't.
All right. Do you have any questions for me?
I gotta make one phone call, sir.
No.
I have to make a
Absolutely
phone
not.
call. I have to call
Nope.
my lawyer.
Do you have a driver's license? Are you suspended?
No.
No. To which one?
I have to make a phone call, sir.
Okay. Walk back to my car. Nope.
You can do that at the
Go to
station.
tell your car.
He wastes no time.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to call my attorney. No.
Yeah.
Alicia said, "Is she drunk?" I don't know because I think she's in shock because she probably has never, in all her suspended licenses, been snatched out the car that quick by an officer. So I think
And
she
all
is in shock. Okay.
you said in all of her suspended license.
Because they all got suspended license.
Oh,
They never have a valid
always.
license. Hey,
Mhm.
Granny the Great, how are you doing?
Car as well. Do you have any weapons on you? Guns, knives, hand grenades, tomahawk missiles, anything that's going to poke me, stab me, stick me?
Why is
No.
he?
Do you have any
still asking for tomahawk missile.
I didn't even hear that part. I was looking at something. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Did he say
He
it
asked her
again?
again.
What has happened to him?
I don't know. I saw earlier somebody said he must have been in World War II or Vietnam.
Not tomahawk, missiles and shit. Do you have
Yeah.
any cannons in your cooch? Oh my God.
Narcotics on you.
No,
You're going to go and get checked when we get down to the jail. If there's anything on you, it becomes a felony when we get to the jail.
I don't have anything on me.
Okay. Lean up against my car, put your forehead on that glass. Spread your feet.
That's something else I'd
Forehead.
never heard before either. When
Me
you put your
either.
forehead on the glass, I was like,
Damn.
I don't ever want to meet this officer. He's been traumatized.
Forehead.
Put your
Jesus.
forehead on my glass. Bella said, I'm not doing that. All right, now I don't know. This man is talking about tomahawk missiles and things like that,
Missiles,
hand grenades. I
muskets.
think I'll do whatever
Yeah.
he said.
Yes.
B, what you say, muskets?
Muskets, cannons. He wants to know what all you got.
Dimples Wimple said, what's his name?
Right.
Delicate Dell said he's taking a forehead print in case she runs. Hey, that's a good idea.
Oh,
Maybe
that's
because they could do them ear prints and things. Maybe they can do forehead prints.
Oh, you know what? That's a good one. Actually, yeah, that's
Yeah,
good. Well, not
yeah.
so much your forehead. I was thinking put your hands on my vehicle, but no, we're gonna lock your hands up first because these people, yeah. So I guess,
Hmm.
but it would have been kind of cool if there was a way to trick them to touch something. So
Yeah.
when you could say, "I don't wish to identify," you know. That shit.
Oh my gosh. Muffin 218 said, watch out for the cannonballs in her cooch.
Right, ma'am. Do you have a cannon in your cooch? Because if we find it, ma'am, you're gonna be in hot water. Okay,
D-Dub
that's
said
one part.
bazookas and bayonets.
More.
Look, she
Is there
don't know
anything in
what
that
to
vehicle I need
do.
to know about?
No, sir.
Okay.
She's not mouthy. I mean, I can respect her.
You gonna give me a first
Yeah.
name or anything?
She won't give her name though.
Yeah, I don't understand that part.
Have a seat.
Look, didn't even close her car door up there. It's still open.
4262 St. John's. I found my driver in prior contact.
Oh.
She is very much suspended. I had her the call.
He said she is very much suspended. So he must, I think he know her or something. I found my driver and she is very much suspended. Maretta said this cop is having flashbacks.
Right.
B.
You don't want
Williams
no
said,
problem.
is she coherent? I'm telling you, she's in shock. She probably ain't used to being handled like this by the police. So she is probably in shock, like, what? I didn't even
Uh-huh.
get to do my script. He all in it. Let me see what else I can get her on.
Yeah. He's looking for tomahawks and shit. Uh-huh. You know,
I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
I heard that.
So just 36 in the 25. Not the end of the world. License plate cover. Not the end of the world. Actually, I was going 35. Okay, so you admit you're going to, okay, I need driver's license registry for insurance. I need your driver's license registry for insurance. I'm not going to ask again. Give me your driver's license. I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Walk around the car, get out.
That was the trigger. That right there was a trigger.
Mhm.
When she pulled that
Mhm.
foolishness, that was a trigger right there. He started having
Mhm.
flashbacks and whatnot.
Lovely. Was she coming here to work or something?
Well, I lit her up there, and then she slammed on the brakes, turned in here real hard. And she's like, "Can I just go to work?" I'm like, "No."
Oh man.
So, but we pulled her over recently. Luckily, in the same vehicle, so I just looked at the vehicle. Oh, she's in the
Oh,
medical
he
field.
did know her.
That's super comforting. Jeez,
Yeah.
Right.
they let delusional people
Right.
provide medical care.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do the labor.
But I already got a tow truck on the way, so I just expected her to resist getting
But
out of the
he
car,
did
and then she didn't.
know her.
So appreciate you.
Yep.
I think she's like a home healthcare nurse. That's terrible.
Oh, that's not.
It's not the same
That's
thing.
not really a medical
Yeah, it's not the same thing, but
caregiver.
And you know what I said? Okay, so then that means she's using that vehicle for commerce because she's going from her home to her job. So that's using the vehicle for commerce. I said,
Good
see,
point.
they really try to fit these things in whatever paradigm they want them to be in.
somebody's
Mhm.
got to do it, man. They do important stuff.
Traveler's information.
TDLSR,
Traveler's
second or subsequent,
information.
and
No, Ray Della Lewis, that's not. See, the thing of it is with the sovereign citizen, they always say they're traveling and you can't stop them because they're not using their vehicle for commerce. They're traveling. But if she is leaving her house, going to her job, then that's to me using her vehicle for commerce, which means that throws out the theory that they always try to use, saying they're traveling and not driving. She's trying to get from her point A to her job. So to me, she is driving and not traveling because it is commerce. Mai Tai said, I wonder what would have happened um, if she asked him, officer, who you hurt? But you know what? I can't believe that she did not pull the feast. I mean, she just didn't pull the tricks, but I really think I just think she was stunned at the approach he took. So I was glad that he went and got her fast, quick, and in a hurry.
Mhm.
refusal of ID. It's been a minute since I had somebody pull the "I'm not driving, I'm traveling."
I've never had that.
Up here, we got a couple like frequent sovereigns.
How come? Hey,
It's got a social
uh,
security card.
Hmm.
why is it that they don't like the sovereign citizens? They get triggered when someone asks if they are a sovereign citizen. I'm not a sovereign citizen. Don't say that or whatever.
I've
Why do they
won
get mad? Like,
I've wondered that too. I don't know that I have an answer. I guess because I think to me, I think for them, like saying they're sovereign is a blanket because you have different people who are sovereign for different reasons, like
mhm,
religious purposes, and a lot of this. And what a lot of people don't understand is this sovereign mess comes from the racist among racist people is where this comes from, and people have then borrowed it from other people, have taken and borrowed it and turned it into their own thing. All
mhm,
of the practices and theories are the same, they just put it into their own paradigm. So I don't know why they get offended if that's
mhm,
what you say, if it's just that blanket statement that you're a sovereign citizen. I don't know. Allegedly in Harmon says, what do
hmm.
they do with Amish people? Well, all the Amish that I see, they're in the horse and buggy.
They in hor- yeah, I was gonna say they're in horse and buggy. And here in Ohio in particular, I know that you're not allowed to even pass a horse and buggy on the road. If the horse and buggy is on the road, you got to stay behind that damn horse and buggy, which is wild to me.
Right.
But you can get in trouble for doing that. So I don't know of any Amish that are driving around in their cars.
Yeah.
So,
Now the Mennonites drive. But I mean,
okay.
I'm sure they ain't breaking no laws. They really don't like go like real far. But um,
Uh-huh.
yeah. The Amish they don't have that problem.
Hold on, she
Uh-huh.
believes in that. She's not a driver's license.
Because it's suspended.
Oh, it is super suspended, dude. She's got like 9 or 10 suspensions on it, all for non-payment. So she keeps getting tickets,
In
not paying them because she doesn't
suspension.
believe that the laws apply to her.
Mm-hmm.
I think there should be, like, you know how there's HTO, there should be one that's STO, sovereign traffic offender. So every time they get stopped, it's a felony. Eventually they'll learn. Hey, driver's licenses are required. Driving is a privilege, not a right. All right, no drugs. Yay. She got like 4 different
He know he
purses in
wish
this
he
purse.
found drugs.
There's nothing in there, so I don't care about that.
All right, I'll wait on your tow truck.
How you clock me at 36?
On radar.
You see that she wants to argue about this 36. She is sitting in the
Versus
back.
35.
Yeah.
Goodbye. That's the least of your worries.
Exactly.
Docker dual front antenna.
Okay. But I don't understand that. I was already coming.
I didn't ask you to understand it. I told you. Okay. That's fine. Your citation will say what the speed was,
Okay.
along with driving with no license and your charges for resisting. The speed limit that you don't believe in because you don't think you need a license.
I think he should do like all of the trainings for all police officers.
Exactly.
You know what I wonder about the Amish though? They
Hmm.
don't, okay, they do their horse and buggy thing, but when they need to go far or go somewhere or to go be on Medicaid, because we had Amish people on Medicaid and stuff,
Mhm.
they ride with the Mennonites. How does that work, I wonder? Because you don't believe in electricity or anything electrical, but you'll get in the car with a Mennonite and go, like, if you need to go somewhere far or whatever. That just doesn't make, it's almost
I
like,
didn't know that. I
oh
didn't know
yeah.
that.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. They will ride with the minute, like they don't pay taxes, but if they have an issue going on, they will go to and apply for Medicaid. Yes, they do. I've seen it, and there was always a lot of men you would see that were Amish that were in mental health because they, believe it or not, they were always getting pulled over for DUI. So you can give them a
What?
D. They can get, yes, they can get in
Hmm.
trouble for DUIs. Yes, and they have. Yes, being on that horse and buggy. Yep.
What? What does that look like?
I'm telling you, it
Is
it
the
just
horse drunk too? Is the horse drunk?
no. But when I worked for corrections, they would be right there in the probation office because they got DUI
What?
being on.
I'm dead.
Yep.
I am dead. What?
Justin's mom says they come to hospital for treatment. So if they are sick, they come here. I saw some walking around the hospital grounds a little while ago. Yeah, they do. And they even, now you want to know what's real funny. I'm serious, JB. I remember when my sister had my niece, it took my sister from sunup to sundown to have my niece. This
Mhm.
Amish lady came in, and the reason why they brought her in is because also public health will send nurse practitioners out there,
Mhm.
to the Amish community. And this particular lady, she was in her late 40s, and she was on her like 12th kid, and they were afraid she was high risk. So she came into the hospital to
Mhm.
have the baby. And like I said, my sister sun up to sundown, and they finally decided to do a C-section. This woman then came in, had her baby, and was ready to be discharged. And my sister was still in labor. I said,
Yeah.
"Oh my." But they
Yeah.
were afraid she was high risk, so she had the baby in the hospital, and it was her 12th child. So
Wow. Okay,
yeah.
I have a question though about this Mennonite. Can I get a ride from you? How did they? I don't even know where any Mennonites live near me. How did they know this? Like, are
they
they all? Is there a union? Are they all like? Make it make sense.
they know how to find. That's just like if they need the phone, they will go to a Mennonite's house. Yes,
Damn, how you know one live near you though?
because
And
they're the ones with the lights on.
oh God, yeah,
I worked with somebody who was Amish,
really.
and
Oh, they worked in the place. I mean, it worked.
right, right. Well, see, she was Amish, then she turned Mennonite, and then her husband left her and her husband left the order. So yeah, she
Good.
worked, but she you could tell because I didn't at first I didn't know this. I just wondered why she dressed the way she dressed. Like it seemed like she dressed like really old, like
Yeah.
her skirts were long and stuff. And well, that's why because she was Amish and then Mennonite, and then they left. Yeah,
Did
or
she
like
wear
a
a little bonnet around her head?
no, she didn't, but she kept that bun. She kept that bun.
That bun.
Mhm. And
Wow.
once they d sometimes, yeah, Tony, Rumspringer, one let's get stoned. They do once they some of them when they do the Rumspringer, they don't go back.
What's a
Well,
Rumspringer?
well, when they turn, I think it's 17 or 18, they get to leave the farm and everything to and go out in the world for a certain amount of time, and then they decide whether or
Wow.
not they want to stay in the what do they call us? They call us the I forget what they call us. The
They're evil. I think they think anything outside of what they're doing is evil, don't they? To some degree. I
yeah,
mean,
but
that's for lack of a better term. I'm
they
just
call okay, they call us the English amongst the English, so we're the English.
Oh,
And
really?
then, after Rum Spring, they can decide if they just want to stay out here amongst the English or go back to
Mhm.
where they are. But it's like a coming of age for the Amish people. Yeah.
Okay, let me say this. Tony has cracked me up. Tony said Eli don't drink, and then he said down here, a Mennonite Uber. Hilarious.
What the yeah, the Mennonites, the first Ubers. But when they want to use a phone or anything, they go to a Mennonite. And I
Mhm.
guess the Mennonites are like an extension, so I guess they know where because they
No.
don't live too far from them. So the Mennonites may not actually be all the way in, but
Mhm.
they're in enough where the people who are Amish know how to find a Mennonite if they want to get somewhere or use a phone or something or be
Mhm.
somewhere where there's electricity.
Sheesh.
I've seen there's a guy who I believe it was in Pennsylvania who his girlfriend, he got his girlfriend to unalive his wife, and the girlfriend was Mennonite.
Oh.
Um and that's how they knew each other. And come to find out he was also like on his job using like phones and stuff like that. But anyway, he
Oh,
got arrested, and
not
when he
using
finally,
phones.
huh?
Not using phones.
Uh-huh. And then when he finally got out of jail, I think he went to Ohio
Uh-huh.
because he wanted to go somewhere where he wasn't known, and then he ended up unaliving himself.
You know what?
So
Maybe I think did I see somebody in here said that Ohio has did they say a huge community of Mennonites? I guess I didn't know that. I don't know if I've ever thought about the difference. So all that time I've been thinking, well, I know we have a large community of Amish folks, but I didn't even think about the Mennonites. So maybe I have lumped them. I bet a lot of people are ignorant like me who lump them together anyway. Like if I saw them, I wouldn't know one from the other. per se. If it were
Yeah,
men,
yeah, well, yeah, because Mennonites, they don't like the Amish. You're either gonna, depending on whether they're married or not. I think it's the color of the dress they wear. It's very old
oh,
fashioned,
yeah.
and the hair is up. Whereas a Mennonite, you might see them in regular clothes, like a
Oh,
regular skirt and stuff, but they still have the bun, and they have just a net on the bun instead of that the big hat. So yeah, you would
oh,
know,
okay.
you would know. Um, I live in a community that has, or I used to live in a community that has a lot of Amish and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I do know now in Ohio, I know I had an aunt who lived in Worcester.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there were a lot of Amish and Mennonites, and I had never been. I don't know where we were going. We went somewhere once, and we were like out in the country, and my aunt was showing me where all the Amish and where the Mennonites were, and
Mhm,
I didn't know, and that was the first time I actually knew, because my people's from Akron, so
mhm. Yeah, but honestly, trying to get from it, see, right around, like, I feel like all around Akron is where you could easily run up on some Amish folks. And Worcester is not far from Akron either. Like,
yeah,
Worcester is very racist too,
yeah,
by the way.
yeah, it is.
I had my own little racist situation there, but yeah, it's very rural.
Mhm. Yeah.
And now, what I will say, I remember my mom was a big, 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 big on getting certain things from the Amish. Like, she wanted, we was only gonna get the chicken from the Amish. We was only gonna get our deli meat from the kosher deli with the Jewish folk. She just felt, I'm gonna get my sausages from the Italian deli. I mean, it was she was all over the place. But them Amish, she wanted their bread, their eggs, their chicken. Yeah. So
Their stuff is so good though. It
yeah.
is so good.
Hmm.
Miss Principal, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I feel like the Amish dress like Little House on the Prairie.
Yes.
Yeah, and they don't believe in the buttons and the zippers. Somebody had said that earlier. Yeah, no buttons, no zippers, none of that.
Girl, no,
Um
I didn't know that. They don't like what zippers is too much like electricity. Like, what is the zipper? It's too much of a contraption.
I
No,
guess
it's a device.
so. I guess
What's wrong
so.
with a whole button? What a button do to somebody?
Oh no.
What? How you keep your stuff closed then? Everything's wide open all the time.
Well,
How you get them
the
dresses?
the men have the suspenders, right? And the women,
Yes.
it's just the dresses, the way they're made, they just slip over the head. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, very, very. It's not a life I could live. And
Mm,
and I didn't. This is what I don't understand. Like, they don't have to pay. They're exempt from taxes and stuff like that, but they could get services that people who pay taxes get, and
mm,
the girls, they only go to school, I think, until they're 12, and yeah, it's
mm,
strange. It is very strange, but I like to I'm kind of with your mother. I like their food, and I used to get this when I make my spaghetti, I put sausage in it as well as ground turkey, and they had this turkey sage sausage. It's so delicious, and I really loved getting that and putting that in there. And I remember when I first gave up beef and pork, that's who I kind of relied on to get stuff from, because you just did not, you couldn't, it was hard to find like a turkey chop and stuff in the stores. You can now, but back when I started, you couldn't. So yeah,
mm,
I like their potato chips, all of their food, their can is just good. Their desserts. That's when
mhm.
I first had a white sweet potato pie.
Oh, a white sweet potato pie.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Delicious.
What?
Yes. Delicious.
I wanna say there was, I think it was apple pie that my mom liked of theirs too. Like, yeah.
Mhm.
But here's my thing, I just wanna know why they are allowed to have these horses and buggies on the street like that.
And the
Because
horses, they just pooping all down the
oh,
street
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, who cleans that up?
That's a good question.
Like the taxpayers have to pay to have that clean. They don't
I
come back behind themselves, I guess, with another horse that's shitting along. I guess they could never get it cleaned if they had to do it. Oh God, that's crazy. I never even thought about that part of it. But yeah, I just feel so annoyed. I used to speak at high schools all the time.
Mhm.
And quite often, that's why I would spend time in Worcester and a lot of those rural areas. And God forbid I was running late and was trying to get to a school, and you're on a 2-lane road and you cannot pass that damn horse and buggy. Man, and they just trotting along. You gotta hope that they turn off or something because you cannot pass them. It is literally against the law.
Now, fortunately, I've seen in the place where I used to live, I've seen them. They will ride on the side, like they'll get off the
Mhm.
2 lane, they'll get off that and go on the side and travel down the side. So that at least they will get out your way,
Mm,
where I used
mhm.
to live.
Sure.
So I like that. Mary Willis says, I wonder why they don't pay taxes. They're exempt because of their status. And because you know how certain churches can get out of not paying taxes, it's kind of like the same thing.
I would bet
So
like Native Americans, they don't have to pay taxes.
right, yeah, yeah, but me, they get me coming and going. So so y'all, I am going to we are I'm getting ready to show y'all something right now. I do not want y'all, you're gonna find out that Nesto is not the only one with that special kind of language. Okay, I'm gonna play this thing now. This is what I this is how I do native on Friday nights. We come up with something that we're gonna do for Friday, and then when Friday gets here, I done changed it, and native be like, he don't even know. So I was debating on whether I was going to send you this stuff beforehand. And I said, no, I
No,
don't
I'm
want to
cool.
do that because I want thee, right along with the rest of y'all, to see this for the first time. Now, we thought Nesto
Mhm.
had his own special language and his
Uh-huh.
own way of speaking. We are going to now. Uh, see some court proceedings. Also, you know that Sonia is going to court against Miss Janice over there, the older lady um,
Mhm.
that in Cleveland. So she's
When is that?
going.
Do we know when?
I can't. Black but not bitter probably remembers better than I do.
Okay.
I can't remember the date, but she's going to be pro se. Okay, she's
Good.
pro se.
Yay.
um did you miss principal? You sent it to my Instagram. I have to I don't I check my Instagram. I'll check it again afterwards and I'll check my email. But yeah, Sonia is going pro se, and I've found another man who is going pro se in his case. Now, his name is Dexter Antonio Lawson. Okay, and he's made a few bad decisions in life.
Okay.
And at his trial, he is gonna go pro se. So I am just warning y'all in advance. You you
Jeez.
might want a drink or something. If you don't want one while you're watching, by the time it's over, you will. So we are going to see an actual defendant going pro se for himself for his crimes. Okay, let
Mhm.
me go ahead and share the screen so y'all can see this because
I can't wait.
you're not gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it. Here we go, y'all.
Mhm.
Deputy Chikara Hearns
Wait a
decided
minute.
while
Okay,
on the run, he did not like it when a small town
I
decided
didn't
to
want to.
steal a plumbing truck. And then, while on the run, he
Let me go
decided to
back
steal
a little bit. I didn't want to go
That's
too
him.
far.
That's the brother right there that got highlighted.
Huh?
That was the brother in the circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
meet Dexter Lawson. On a bad day, he decided to steal a plumbing truck. And then, while on the run, He did not like it when a small-town police officer, Deputy Chikara Hearns, decided to put a stop to his crime spree. He drove the plumbing truck towards the police vehicle, slamming her into a ditch. He then got out of the truck, shot at...
Y'all see that? Y'all see that's the plumbing truck he stole, and there's the deputy's car. Black but not bitter said she's going in November. Okay. So y'all see this, right?
her several times and fled on foot. She survived, and he was caught a few hundred yards away.
See, so it not only did he run into her in, and you're gonna need to know this when he gives, and all we're not gonna even watch the trial. I will put the links in the description for the trial in case y'all want to see the whole trial. We are just going to look at his opening statement. But if you can see, he ran into her, right? And then you see these pals in the window there where yeah, so you're gonna want to remember that.
This is his trial. But, prior to his trial on another bad day, Dexter made another fateful decision. He decided to represent himself. Judge Marsh, the presiding judge, gave him all the necessary warnings to let him know that he was making a foolish decision. But Dexter insisted that he could handle the job better than any lawyer.
That's Dexter, okay? Dexter said, I can represent myself and do a much better job, okay, than any attorney can, okay? All right, keep that in mind.
He feels that way, but he couldn't do anything about that space in his eyebrows.
Not at all. My Ty said, does he say muchacho? No, he don't say that, but he's gonna say some things.
Okay.
So here we are, day one of his trial, and not just any trial. This is the trial of the attempted murder of a cop. So, of course, the top prosecutor, the state attorney himself, is at the other table, Jack Campbell. This is Dexter's first opportunity to shine, to impress the jurors with his eloquent opening statement. Or not. Buckle up. You are in for a wild ride.
All right, defense, you may present your opening statement.
One thing about life, you don't care no human, you don't care who tell it, cause he ain't got no tongue, right?
What?
Okay, y'all.
What had happened?
I got the closed caption on so that y'all can really hear what he's saying.
Closed caption don't know what he is saying. Statement don't care who T-prop a got no tongue.
Right.
What?
A lot. What he was basically trying to say is a lie don't care who tell it.
Wait, what? Was that it? Are you serious? Do you think that's what he was trying to say?
Yes.
Girl, stop it. I would be so lost. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Jesus.
You just see it all that. Now you gotta prove it. That's what I'm saying about proving. Like,
you gotta prove it, okay? Y'all know what prove is? You gotta prove it.
Oh my God. Legacy Moon, please make sure you stop like this throughout, okay?
Okay.
You
know what? Wait a minute. Now I found. Well, wait a minute. Let me see something here, y'all. Let me see. There is another content creator who did this, who covered this, whose video is a little bit more clear. I can pull that up. You're still not going to know what he's saying, but I will pull it up. Let me grab it right quick. What is her name? Her name is, let me see. Oh no, it's in the description. Let me go to the description of this video and I'll pull it up because hers was a little bit clearer, but this guy here gave a good description as to what happened. So let me pull it up and I'll go to her video. What's her name? Ladybug. Her name is Ladybug. Okay. And I'm gonna pull her up.
Wait. Rakia said it's the 3-inch nails for me. Oh wait. Oh my Lord.
Hey, Miss Boogie Down. Miss Boogie. Well, good lord, come on, Ladybug. Let me pull up this. Let me get the link for it because Ladybug got a lot going on on here. I'm gonna read your thing in a minute. Let me see. Here we go. Let me copy this because hers is just a little bit clearer. Copy and then paste it right here. I started to download this just so y'all can like I said, hers is a little clearer.
Oh, okay. All
Okay. Um
Where is this at? A
I
small
got it.
Florida rural damn town. Of
Yeah.
course.
Now, if you want, as a matter of fact, this channel, oh wait a minute, ML Justice. I thought I went to this one is clearer though. Let me see.
And
It
I
is
didn't want
clear.
it to be confusing about defendant and being a witness. I go into all the witness stuff.
Okay, let me pull it up. Okay.
Prejudice not because of what's happening anywhere else outside this courtroom, but because justice in this courtroom, where we talked, if nowhere else in society, in this room, we will endeavor to make sure that there's justice for Prince and Papa, law enforcement and civilian.
Shit, I don't know what he's saying. Okay.
Justice is guilty as charged.
Okay, here he comes, y'all. This is a little clearer.
Mr. Lawson, you may argue.
democracy is the people in power. If the people in power, that means that it's y'all decision. Okay? But y'all don't know law. So it's up to y'all at the end of the day. Okay? You gotta be able to presume I'm innocent and to prove I'm guilty. Okay?
Are y'all can y'all hear? Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You got presume innocent and prove guilty. Okay.
Prove that to me. They gotta be able to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. They gotta say, I know for a fact that's me, right? Also, you gotta say, I know for a fact that I possessed the gun. Not just any gun now. You gotta be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I possessed a Glock 45.
You have to prove without a reasonable doubt that he possessed a Glock 45. Okay.
Well, you do have to possess it. I mean, he did have to have possessed it. So
Del Sol said, hot damn, another fucking Nesto.
now you probably think he fine too.
That did what they trying to say that I did. They said earlier that it gonna show that I shot 6 times into a police car. First, you gotta tell that to me. First, then you gotta also really prove that I had a Glock 45. Okay, you got the deputy. She said that I run away and I turned right around and I ran toward her, and then I started shooting. Right, but yeah, I'm very describable. Like
He's very describable.
Okay.
Tony said Vlenore, he's from Ohio,
No,
Georgia
ma'am.
North.
No, sir. No, sir, Tony. That's them Florida folk.
Be the one said, damn, he makes Nesto sound like a scholar with a master's in communication.
Facts.
Shirley's divorce finally said he's definitely Nesto's brother. They both can't talk. No, but he is pro se, okay?
You see what Nola Brown said?
What Nola Brown say? Nola Brown said he has his facts together, okay?
my beard, okay, my head, how I look, what I had on, okay, all that plays a factor in how to identify. So first, you gotta identify who was shooting at you, because you can assume who's shooting at you, but how you gonna say I know for? She said she knows.
You can assume who's shooting at you, but how you gonna know for a fact?
Never mind, you hit me. Never mind, I'm looking at your black ass. The fuck?
She don't know for a fact I shot her. Okay, how you gonna be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I had a Glock 45? Okay.
Okay.
Can you play the ramming video?
Yes, sir. Right.
The Ram video.
From the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, do we get to see this?
Yeah, you do get to see it, but you can't. You know what I mean? You can't
Can
see
you
it.
start right now?
Sure. Sorry.
Can you back up a little bit?
Sure. Tell me
Right now. All right, go back. Come back.
Why?
Come back. Come back. Reverse. Not go forward. Go back.
Okay.
Now, I don't know who was calling the judge, but didn't they know he was in court? Come on.
I was like, whose phone ringing?
My tie. Thank you so much for the member. Milestone. She said, Legacy Moon, you've outdone yourself with this one. I can't. Thank you for the member milestone, my tie, and thank you for supporting the platform. Yeah. We not gonna be able to see everything, but you know.
Come on. Right now.
Right there.
Right.
Okay.
See how close that is? That's real close right there. He ain't gonna not go.
Just pull it. You want me to play it real speed?
Just go on and play it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, wait, Mister. Yes, sir. Right there. Okay, yes, sir.
How you gonna be able to prove that I wasn't attempting to flee? How you gonna be able to prove that? I mean, she pulled in front of me. Okay, okay.
He said, now y'all saw how the car. He said she pulled in front of me.
Oh my God. And I guess she shot out her own window, huh?
Yeah, because you can't prove, because the way he looked, you can't really say that was him with that Glock. You can't say it, okay?
That's true, because he's very describable.
Right.
See, the people ain't supposed to be in power. How could the people be in power if the people in power, that means the people is the superior when it comes to the government, because the government supposed to work for the people, right? Okay. But how the government is set up is like they reversing it. Instead of them we work for them, instead of them working for us, we work for them, right? But
instead of the government working for us, we really work for them, okay? All right.
Okay.
How you gonna be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I possessed a Glock 45 and I did that, and you ain't got no fingerprint, no DNA on the gun. You got this lady saying that she's seen a tall individual. I'm not tall at all. She said a tall individual with a tan uniform on, right? Okay, she never said, oh, he had on gloves. She never say, oh, he had a beard. She never say he had a big head. How you gonna miss that?
Big
you
head.
seen me shoot 4 times. You see me?
How she missed that? And she was shot 4 times. She ain't never said I had on gloves.
Yeah, no gloves. She didn't say I had on gloves, so she must not have seen me. She didn't say I had a big head, so it wasn't me.
Salt and Pepper Trusted said, God dang, jumped out the bushes. Mary Willis said he going to jail because these people have to sit through this mess. And I was thinking that as I was watching this, I said, can you imagine being a juror and you have to sit through this? They done took you out your good job to sit there and listen to this foolishness. Right. My brother said he is not going to win.
At all.
Oh, goodness.
You shoot 4 times, but at the same time, you ain't saying about no blood, but you know exactly what color I got on. If you know what color I got on, how you gonna miss the fact that I got on blood? How you gonna miss the fact that I got a beard? How you gonna miss the fact that I got a big head? That's very distinguishable. When they called the police, nobody could identify.
Hold on. He said that's very distinguishment. Okay. Now that's what closed caption said he said. That is very distinguishment. I can't even say that word. Distinguishment. Jeez.
Muffet 218 said, "How long did they deliberate?" I don't know, but I could have sworn that they did this for 4 days, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
The only Tyrone Bigham said, "Dude got a bottle of motor oil in his pocket." He very distinctive, okay?
Okay, the other dude when he testified, okay, he said that he said I had on a checkered t-shirt, right? A checkered shirt. Okay. How many checkered shirts out there? I had on a tan jacket. Okay.
Huh?
Then
So
he
you were
said,
there?
okay, first he said,
So you were there? Okay, about putting yourself at the scene of the crime.
Miss Principal, thank you so much for the super chat. She said he's guilty and getting a max sentence because he wasted my time and patience.
Oh my God.
Right.
Can we charge him again and send him back to jail is the question.
Yeah, he needs to be charged, okay?
God.
Charged.
then he say, I have on a blue shirt. Okay. Now you seen me when I got on blue shirt, but you could have seen me when I had on blue shirt when I got in the police car. It's not mandatory that you seen me with a blue shirt on at that time because for one, you missed the jacket. I got on a jacket. You said a checkered shirt. That could have been anybody. Okay.
It's not mandatory that you seen me.
What? I'm so confused.
CJ said, like Nesto said, I don't know them folks. 1 minute they bony saying, 1 minute then Boney saying, you was with her when I was calling you, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. These people are stupid, boy.
Dimples Wimples said, just fuck the vowels. Karen S., you got secondhand embarrassment.
Wow.
She is an introvert, has been a member for 1 month, and she says, we found another mush mouth fool. Yes, we have. Thank you so much for the member milestone, and thank you for supporting. Whew, okay, here we go.
Due to the fact that Debbie Hearn cannot say she know for a fact that I shot her, anybody could have shot her. Anybody could have did that. So if you gotta be able to assume that I'm innocent and to prove guilty, how you gonna say I know for a fact that I possess the Glock because the Glock 45? Can you show the woman?
Sure. The window? Yes, sir.
Show the woman.
The window.
How you gonna be able to prove I did that?
He means
now that's not
he
what
means
closed caption said.
Huh?
Look, go back. Closed caption said woman too. Can you show the woman?
Yeah, he meant the screen though.
Okay, the window.
You ain't got no fingerprint, no DNA on the gun. You got this lady saying that she's seen a tall individual. I'm not tall at all. She said a tall individual with a tan uniform on, right? Okay, she never said, oh, he had on gloves. She never say, oh, he had a beard. She never say he had a big head. How you gonna miss that if you seen me shoot 4 times? You seen me shoot 4 times, but at the same time, there's you ain't say nothing about no glove, but you know exactly what color I got on. If you know what color I got on, how you gonna miss the fact that I got on gloves? How you gonna miss the fact that I got a beard? How you gonna miss the fact that I got a big head? That's very distinguishable. When they call the police, nobody could identify how I look. Okay, the other dude when he testified, okay, he said I had on a checkered t-shirt, right? A checkered shirt. Okay. How many checkered shirts out there? I had on a tan jacket.
Do you know how many checkered shirts are out there? I had on a tan jacket.
Oh my God. I was there, but it was a tan jacket, not a checkered shirt.
Salt and Pepper Trusted said, "Bro, just say you did it."
Right.
Yeah, put us out of our misery.
Right.
Okay,
Golly.
then you say, okay, first then he say, I have on a blue shirt. Okay, now you seen me when I got on blue shirt, but you could have seen me when I had on blue shirt when I got in the police car. It's not mandatory that you seen me with a blue shirt on at that time because for one, you missed the jacket. I got on a jacket. You said a chocolate.
You missed. You missed. I had on a jacket.
He just keeps telling on it. That's crazy.
My John said he loves talking about his big head.
He sure does.
Them folks said that's going to be my new line. Oh yeah, I was there, but I had on a tan jacket.
And it is not mandatory that you say you saw a blue shirt, okay?
Magic City's finest said, "Nigga,
Mm-mm.
you had on a tan jacket over your checkered shirt."
In
And I
blue.
think that that's his point too. But she didn't see that. That's the problem. She couldn't say that.
Sure, that could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody.
Okay, due to the fact that Debbie Hearn cannot say she know for a fact that I shot her, anybody could have shot her. Anybody could have did that. So if you gotta be able to presume that I'm innocent and to prove me guilty, how you gonna say I know for a fact that I possess the Glock because the Glock 45? Can you show the woman?
Sure.
See?
Linda? Yes, sir.
You see that?
Yeah.
We don't know what the closed caption say. I don't know what the hell you talking about.
Mind you, these are the these right here are the closing. In the beginning, when he was doing his opening, the ever so often the prosecutor would say sidebar because he was bringing up Trump, Breonna Taylor,
What?
all of these people who have nothing to do with him and
Oh
why
my
he's there.
God.
But yeah, he kept bringing up all of that, and every time he did, and the funny part about it is the attorneys, they let him go on, and then when he just, after a while, they just kept saying sidebar, sidebar, and then the judge would say, okay, is horrifying as the Breonna Taylor case was, it's unfortunate, but that has nothing to do with you, and it just was going back. But this is this is his closing. Like I said, if y'all want to see the trial, it's on this channel, but we not sitting through a trial. Thank you, Miss Boogie Down, for the super chat. She says, okay, where is Ashton Kutcher? We are being punked. Unfortunately, Miss Boogie Down, this is a real courtroom with real events and real people, and this man is very much for real.
Oh, I can't.
Miss Boogie Down, thank you for the super chat and thank you for supporting. I revived said possessed it. Yep, possessed it. Oh my gosh. Yep. Possessed it. Can
How you gonna be able to prove I did that? It doesn't show that I did that. And then she said, okay, the thing about the situation right here, right? The state get all the evidence, they get everything, and they would, and get what I get. I don't get nothing, right? But the state get all the evidence, and they talking with law enforcement and everything, so they can pick and choose what to present and what to leave out. That's an idiot.
The state can pick and choose what to present and what to leave out. Popeye's Tribe Urban Media says transcript. I don't know what this mofo talking about because I quit soon as I hear him open his mouth, okay? Shavy said the thing about the situation. That's right, the thing about the situation. She can't for sure say, he got a big head. She can't for sure say he had on a tan jacket. Okay. Joseph Buller says stupidity will be a grounds for dismissal.
I know for a fact that a lot of officers had body cam and not even presented it that they had body cam, right? And if it's not in the state favor, they ain't gonna present that right there. They gonna edit. They gonna take some out. They gonna add this, and when you run it, it's like a movie. It's just like a movie. Even a movie look real. Okay.
So the state, they gonna decide which body cams to show and which ones not, and then they can edit it and show it, and it's gonna look just like a movie.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Child.
Okay. They say the smoke, right? Okay. But you manipulating the video. You was manipulating the video so much. You can look. It can look like I did something. It didn't even do it. Okay. They said I was the only one on the scene, right? Prove I was the only one on the scene because nobody can identify how I look, and I'm very distinguishable. I got this.
He's very distinguishable, but yet nobody could say how he looked. Okay, and there could have been anybody on the scene, anybody. Okay. Tony said, "Dude, no, he don't look like native. Mary Willis said, "OMG, time out." Man, it's serious.
Beard. That's why I wanted to go ahead and go try because I got this beard. Like, you can't tell me once you see me, you forgot how I look. You can't do that. You cannot say, "Oh, that's Antonio Lawson." You know this is Antonio Lawson when you see this Antonio Lawson. So even the fact that you can say I was moving in a certain direction, okay, when you got this lady saying that it was a tall individual that shot 4 times. She said, I shot 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 times.
4 times.
And you not knowing how I look. You said, okay, I don't got on no uniform.
See, this is why you need an actual attorney, because he would know the fact that, this officer, not only did you ram into the front of her, then you pow like 4 times. So she's traumatized. So maybe she won't. Maybe she can't tell you everything that you had on that particular day, but one thing she knows for sure, you are the one who shot at her. Delicate Dell, thank you so much for the super chat. Delicate Dell says, "Can you send this to Nasty so he can feel like we feel?"
Wow. Look, I just want to understand. It's so funny because you make a good point. Yes, she's traumatized, but let's be clear: a cop does have the training to sort of see things in more detail than probably you and I would, and she probably still did see more than you and I would. But what's crazy is that we're supposed to believe that she was looking dead in his eyes when he shot her, not once, not twice, not 3, but 4 times, as he put it. Who is looking dead on at 4 bullets coming at him?
Because at some point,
I'm duck, dodge.
Exactly. At some point, she had to been trying to duck. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
she probably still picked up more shit than you and I probably would have. But the fact that but it sounds crazy that he's like, how she miss all this when I shot her 4 times.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4.
How you miss all this?
Yeah, pull that window up again.
I got on a jacket. Okay, she never even said nothing about no gloves. Then her don't even say nothing about no gloves. Nobody said nothing about no gloves. Okay, how you see my shirt if I'm running away and I got on a jacket? Okay, I'm not okay. The state gotta be the country of this state will not allow anyone to be sanctioned on a conviction on speculation, intuition, or hunches. But yet it's full of intuition, yet it's full of hunches, yet it's full of speculation. Because
it's full of speculation, intuition.
Oh God.
Miss Principal says she was believing her lying eyes. Shay B said he sounds like a nigga that got caught cheating, right?
Oh my God.
Tony says, I hope Sonya tells Nesto to go pro se. He can take lessons from this guy right here.
Yeah.
How you gonna say I shot you, but at the same time you don't know for a fact, right?
You don't know for a
Okay,
fact I shot you.
how you gonna miss the fact I got on gloves? You don't know who shot you, right? Okay, none of the women.
Okay, now remember, he made a point of there not being any DNA or prints on the pal pal, but he's still, as Ray Della Lewis says, self snitching because he's saying he had on gloves and she didn't see that. Well, that accounts for why there were no DNA prints on it because you had on gloves. You keep telling us that you had on gloves and the police officer didn't see that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
an attorney would not even go through
Acknowledge
all
it.
that. We wouldn't even acknowledge it. But he
Uh-huh.
keeps pointing it out for some reason.
Uh-huh.
Witnesses identified me. I was identified solely on the camera, right? Okay, but yet the camera does not show nothing. I done seen a lot of situations that done transpired where
He was identified on the camera, but the camera don't show nothing. Okay.
they had more than enough evidence and never prosecuted that situation, period. So at the end of the day, how can you prove that I tried it? Okay, she pulled in front of me. Like she pulled in front of me. So therefore, how you gonna be able to prove that I tried to kill her? How you gonna be able to prove that I wasn't trying to flee? Okay, then you got a video.
She pulled in front of me. So how you gonna prove that I tried to unalive her when I tried to flee?
Right.
Mind you, if you remember the picture I showed y'all, he was the one on the road. She was in the ditch, so that means he rammed her in the ditch. But
Mm-hmm.
but y'all can't prove that. Miss Boogie Down said this ninja make Nesto sound like a college graduate, not a mother freaking job co. Okay. Helen said, I can't watch children or women being abused. I don't like to watch anyone being abused. Helen, she's probably at the beginning of because I know sometimes she comes in late and she's in a different place than where we are in the video. But I appreciate her for always being here.
Of me saying anything in the body seat, but at the same time, that doesn't that has nothing to do with the evidence at hand. That has nothing to do with the act. Okay, first, not only they gotta be able to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt that I was on the scene, they also gotta be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I committed a whole act. You gotta be able to prove that I committed a whole act. How you gonna be able to prove that I committed a whole act if it doesn't show what was shot? The country of this state would not allow anyone to be sanctioned on a provision on speculation, intuition. They ain't asking y'all to speculate. They asking y'all to use y'all intuition and y'all hunches on something that they edited.
They got to use their intuition and hunches.
Yeah.
Allegedly, in Harmon said, what had happened was I wasn't even there. How they know it was me? That's right. I had a jacket on over my checkered shirt. She ain't say nothing about my jacket. Okay. So see.
Like a movie. Like this is even movies look real. This is 2020. You can easily manipulate a video to the point where it'll come out looking just how you want to look at it. And you got all of them directing that round table. You got the law enforcement, they get all the evidence and they pick and choose what they want. Then they talk about it. But at the same time, put it on national news. Mar Young, on national news, say Jason Antonio Lawson did that beyond everybody. Prove that Jason Antonio Lawson did that beyond everybody.
You see, closed caption just tapped out on that one. Closed caption said, I don't know what in the hell he said, okay? We just not even gonna try. Closed caption was not here. Nope.
Okay, direct evidence is proof. Okay, you got indirect evidence. Indirect evidence, which is speculation of evidence, right? But you got
Indirect evidence is speculation of evidence. So if it's indirect, it's not
Oh.
real evidence.
Ah.
Black but not bitter said he just proved beyond a reasonable doubt he was on the scene. The
Yep.
prosecution is just going to stand up and say we rest our case.
Exactly.
Oh, he know he was there, but see, she can't prove he was there because she didn't see the jacket he had on or the gloves he had on.
And
that's
she didn't see him shooting her. Okay.
Yeah, remember that.
She's assuming that he was the one. Anybody could have did it. That's what
Yeah,
he's saying.
that's what he's
Mhm.
saying. That's it.
Mhm.
These people are using their intuition and
And hunches.
speculation and hunches. Okay.
say that I did that, I did that, right? Okay, now you gotta be able to prove that. Because at first, he said that. He said, oh, it's gonna show that Dexter Lawson jumped out, came back, and shot 6 times in a police car. It doesn't show that at all, right? Okay, and then how you gonna be able to prove the reason that I had a gun? Okay, hold on now. So, okay, this is not.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on now.
Who he telling to hold on? He the only one talking. Hold on now. I'm going too fast. Okay.
Popeye's Tribe Urban Media said his family is no call, no show because Diddy represented himself. Shit's weird. It's
Mhm.
too complicated. Said he needs to be locked up for sounding dumb as hell. And
Mhm.
Salt and Pepper Trust has said if that officer had not pulled in front of him, he would have had to pow pow 4 times. He wouldn't have had. That's right. If she hadn't have gotten his way, he wouldn't have had to pow pow 4 times. He'd have just been on about his business. Attitude and Tylenol, thank you so much for the super chat. She says he about to get real nasty with it. That's right. Now hold on now. He about to tell you something. That's right.
Premeditated at all, right? Okay, when Deputy Hearn pulled in front of me, right, she put on the light, right?
When you hear him, he said when she pulled in front of me.
Right.
I thought he wasn't there.
Right. He keeps putting that out there. He's solidifying the fact he was there. He was there. He was there.
Muffin 218 said not a single objection. Nope, they just gonna let him go ahead.
This is not a plan. This is just straight dumb. I mean, I'm off medication. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, it's a trigger.
Off
I've been
medication.
locked up a lot of times.
I was trying to figure that. I think he was misusing a word.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Shit, I don't think so. I think he is off his medication. Shit.
Do a lot of different things. So therefore, that's not a trigger. I got a million of ways that it could be a trigger, but yet I was told not to talk about Breonna Taylor and all the other stuff. You know what I mean? But okay.
He was told he couldn't talk about. I think he was. I think he was trying to say premeditation. That's what. So it's
Oh
not
my God.
premeditation. He can't talk about Breonna Taylor because he was told not to. Because, like I told y'all, when he was doing his opening, he kept bringing Breonna Taylor up and Donald Trump and how Donald Trump was a felon and all of this kind of stuff. And the judge said you can't do that. So that's what he's saying. I can't bring up Breonna Taylor. Okay.
I just brought her up, but I'm not gonna. I can't.
But yeah, he wasn't saying he was off his medication. He was saying premeditation.
Oh my God.
How you gonna? He said, "I'm so happy. I'm drinking. I ain't nothing." Okay, but that has nothing to do with that. This not being premeditated. This is not being premeditated. This is a dumb situation that I put myself in. Like, how you gonna be able
So you were there again. And what was dumb? You didn't do nothing, right? What dumb situation he put himself in? I'm so confused. This man right here.
Was it premeditation?
Oh my God.
Shay B said it's the self snitching for me.
That I tried to kill her, it was just something that happened. How you gonna be able to prove that?
You can't prove I was trying to kill her. It's just something that happened.
Oh my God. You can't prove that was my intention. Oh my God.
I wasn't trying to flee. That's if you gotta be able to prove, if you gotta be like that thing about spades. You can make the rules, but
Space. We're talking space.
Not space. The card game. Not space. Midwest too. What?
Attitude dinosaur said this is the longest guilty plea I've ever heard.
He said space, you can make the rules.
Magic City's finest said I can't type with this chat's comments.
This is too much.
Yeah, so we all spades. The spades rule.
you ain't gonna want to win from them rules. Like you gotta be able to go. If they can't, this is their law. They law say that you gotta be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt every element. Beyond a reasonable doubt every element, right? So you saying, okay, this is what I mean by that, right? Okay. The professional got out here yesterday, and she said, okay, the DNA could be destroyed when a bullet is fired, right? But what about the other bullets that was in the clip? Like, okay, so I understand. Okay, if you're saying the bullet that was fired, okay, that ain't got no evidence on it. They ain't got no DNA on it. But what about the rest of the bullets that was in the clip? Why? I know they did it. I know they dusted every single bullet, everything. They got a million pictures. Ain't no way around the fact that you can't connect me to that gun. If you can't connect me to that gun, and you got to presume that I'm innocent and to prove guilty because it done been too many times that they done broke rules and bent rules and got away around the rules.
You gotta let me go because they done bent rules and broke rules and went around the rules so many times that you just gotta let me go. Because how come? Okay, my DNA, did you check I know you checked the rest of them. Was my DNA there? Okay. Aunt Nettie, thank you so much for the super chat. She says guilty on all charges.
All of them.
Right.
All of them.
Right. My Reddit said, I feel bad for the court reporter.
Oh my God.
Miss Boogie Down says, how can you say when I wasn't there, but I was, that I didn't intentionally when it just happened, but I didn't do what I did do.
And she cut in front of me anyway. This is how all this shit started. She cut in front of me.
Black but not bitter says, is he gonna mention the big joker? Who knows?
I know, right. Why did spades even come up?
I get I guess because you're gonna be I don't know how to play spades, but I guess you can't make up the rules as you go, I guess, in spades. I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. Hey, Queen Black.
To certain people, but I was told not to get into all of the different political things that is public information. Like you say, I got freedom of speech, but yet you tell me.
Sidebar.
I can't get into political. You tell me. Sidebar. Okay.
Oh, God. Mm-mm. They told me I had to bring this up, so I'm gonna bring it up. Mm-mm.
Mr. Lawson, is there any reason that after this court tells you what you can't get into, that you turn around and tell them that you can't get into it, and then you start getting into it?
I got a freedom of speech to say, you told me not to get into detail about that particular thing. Only thing I was just making it known as in my defense, too. I mean, all due respect.
No, sir, I'm not going to let you talk about politics and people getting away, and I can't tell you about national events, but you know about national events. I'm not going to let you do it. You've done plenty of other good things. You've talked about the fact that they didn't look for DNA on the unfired rounds. You've talked about that the video doesn't show 6 shots. You've done a great job pointing out deficiencies. I'm just not letting you go down the political road of talking about national news events. The other stuff you're doing is perfectly valid argument, and you're doing just fine. If you stay with what talking about the facts of this case and what the state is not able to show, that is fine, and I'll let you keep doing that. But I'm not going to let you, especially when you acknowledged you weren't supposed to go into it, and then you went into it anyway. Okay? Yes. All right, step back.
Oh my God! First of all, can we stop for a second? How did we get so lucky to be able to hear the fucking sidebar?
I know, right?
Wow. That was cool.
Them folks said Judge trying to give him a fair trial, even
Yeah.
though he put himself at the scene 312 times.
The judge is so nice about you've done a great job of pointing out deficiencies. Right.
Yeah. I would talk about Breonna Taylor, but I can't talk about that. They said I can't talk.
Oh my God.
Salt and Pepper Trusted says freedom of speech ain't freedom of speech anymore. Freedom coming soon. Yeah, like Nesto, freedom coming soon.
Oh God.
All right, Mr. Lawson, you may proceed, sir.
It's just the rules, right? The rules simply is plain and simple. Like,
is it?
But look, now y'all see it's comments coming up on this screen. I don't know if y'all can see them, but it's the person who's showing this. It's their live stream where the comments are. So
said, I gotta be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt. If the state gotta be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt every element, not only do they gotta be able to prove that I was on the scene, they gotta also prove beyond reasonable doubt every element of a whole act. Okay.
They gotta prove every evidence of the whole act. They gotta prove he was on scene. Forget about the fact that he said he was there. They gotta prove it.
Gotta prove every item the clothing he had on, every article, everything.
I know that jury. You guilty because you wasted my time, okay? With this foolishness. Shay said the entire courtroom heard the sidebar. Why did they bother going to the side?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Did the whole courtroom, or did we get lucky because it's on tape? Like, what the hell point is that?
And I'm thinking that too. I was wondering that the whole time, right? But I think it must be just we heard it because it's on tape. Because his voice, did you hear him? His voice started getting loud. Then he took it back down when he realized he was getting loud. So I guess they can't hear it, but we could. You know, I mean, how lucky is that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a lot of stuff that they just ain't even displaying. The only thing they is displaying is the thing that is not in my favor. Okay, but when you put all type of okay, how is it a crime for me to take off my clothes? This is not a crime for me to take off my clothes. Okay.
Huh?
Prove I had that gun though. Prove I had that.
Okay, so what I think he was saying, what he had on wasn't the crime. But they got to prove he had that gun, though. They got to prove that. Okay, y'all can't. It's not a crime what I was wearing, and y'all talking about what I was wearing. But you got to prove that I had that gun, and there is no DNA on the gun, the clip, nothing. Even though he said he wore gloves, and the officer didn't notice it. Um, Lacara says this a Dave Chappelle skit. Unfortunately, no, this is real life. Them
Right.
folks said so he took off his tan jacket, then they saw the
The
checkered
play.
shirt
Yeah.
that was blue.
Oh God.
Maretta said he's related to Sonya.
And Nesto. It's a
I
cross
don't
breed. Fuck.
Particular gun that shot 6 times when you got the deputy cannot say she know for a fact that I did that. And then if you know me, if you've seen me before, you'll never forget how I look. So that right there, in the fact that you got all the witnesses. Okay, you got 4 different witnesses.
You got all the witnesses. 4 different witnesses.
That was on the scene when that happened. Okay, I stayed in Jackson. So, you know how other people stay, a lot of people stay in Jackson. So when you say that, oh, I was on the one on the scene, that's a lie because you got all kinds of people on the scene. But at the same time, you don't know how I look. Like, like it's a video that I tried, cause they got body cam. They got body cam. A lot of them got body cam, but thing is, it's not beneficial to let them know that, okay, we ain't gonna show it if it's not beneficial. If it's gonna favor him, we ain't gonna show it, right? But at the same time, nobody know how I look. How can you not know how can you say I'm running at you, then say you don't know how I look? You cannot. And then
Now, see, if he had a real defense attorney
Would have gotten it in.
and would have looked at the whole thing to see. So
Mm-hmm.
he's just really being totally irrelevant. This is why they say you shouldn't represent yourself. But this is what pro se looks like. Now, I personally think he can go and get her after, because he was found guilty. I personally think he could get like a real attorney and say that his attorney was incompetent to represent
For
him.
sure. He should sue his old attorney. He got a case against his old attorney now. There ain't no lies about that.
This Cara says, I love his passion. He is passionate. He is very, very passionate about what he is saying, okay? Very passionate.
When Ms. Rodriguez got on the telephone, called 911, Ms. Murray got on the phone and told him how many times that she got shot, but at the same time, you can't say that, you can't say who shot you. I mean, and at the same time, you gotta be able to presume I'm innocent and to prove it guilty. All right, how you gonna be able to prove that and it doesn't show what y'all saying that it shows? You know what I mean? That's the crazy thought about the whole situation. It's like, okay, with the terrible evidence, okay, I took off my clothes. But at the same time, I stayed down the road. Like it makes no sense for me to stay down the road and did what I did. Like if I know for a fact that I did that, you know what I mean? So
Stay down the road. So it makes no sense for me to do what I did if I did that. Because I stay down the road.
So crazy. This is too much.
Attitude and Tylenol said a man who represents himself has a for a client. It's too complicated, says we may not know how you look, but we will never forget how you sound. And Justin's mom says he keeps repeating himself over and over again.
Yes,
when the terrible evidence, it's not what evidence that I talk with. Okay, I don't own that gun. Never seen the gun before. The gun is not mine. How you gonna be able to prove that gun mine? And if you got the gun on me, you find the gun in the woods. Anybody could have had that gun. So how am I telling with evidence when the gun? I don't know nothing about no camera in no truck. You see what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about no camera in no truck. I have no recollection of no camera in no.
He has no recollection. No recollection.
Here's the thing too. Let me say this. He stole the truck.
Right.
He's never once saying I wasn't there at all and I didn't steal no truck. The person who stole the truck is the person who did all this, but it's almost as if he's saying I was driving the truck. She put because he said she shot out in front of him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
He
it
got
was
in
you
his
in that
way.
truck, which means you did commit a crime to get into to be in that position. You already committed a crime before you hit this woman.
Right. Right. Mary Willis says he honestly think he's doing a thing. He really does. And somebody, I forget who it was, said, I thought it was you, Mary Willis, said, can this be used, to encourage children to stay in school? Absolutely.
Look at attitude and Tylenol.
Okay, nigga, rest your damn case already.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Wait, Dimples Wimple said, does this case fall under the ADA?
Oh, yes, it should. It absolutely should.
Cause show the window again. Not
Oh,
the screen, but the window. If that
right.
don't sound like something Nesto would say. Yeah, show the window again.
Truck. So therefore, it made no sense to me. And then the gun situation, right? Okay, they said evidence of value, fingerprints of value, but they ain't say the gun was completely clean. When they said they swore that gun and everything, okay, the gun was still, the gun had DNA on it. The gun had DNA on it. It had fingerprints on it. So due to the fact that it didn't match with me, they saying, oh, y'all can't. By y'all finding them guilty on attempted murder, that automatically assumed that I had a Glock 45. Okay, but think about it like this. Look at it another way, right? Okay, they right, look at it like this, right? Okay, if the fingerprint was on it, if my fingerprint was on the gun, then that would have been proof. They would have been able to say they can prove aggravated battery if my fingerprint was on that gun. Due to the fact that ain't no fingerprints on the gun, and they saying that that's the only gun that was used, you trying to speculate, you using intuition, and you using hunches to say, oh, even though
I just wish somebody would give him the definition of intuition. Okay.
Yeah.
I am so tired of him misusing that word.
Well, look, you know what's funny? He keeps talking about how there was his fingerprints, no DNA was on the gun, but he started this whole statement out talking about how he got gloves on.
Exactly.
I had gloves on. She didn't see my gloves.
And Shay B said using hunches is diabolical. I'm hearing super chats, but I'm not seeing them. I'm gonna look for them. I know it's a place I can look, but I don't remember where.
Oh, they don't have a place like in
It
stream.
does, but I can't remember where. I'm gonna find it though. I'm gonna find it, but we're gonna play some more while I search.
fingerprints on the gun, that's the lawsuit still had the gun. But at the same time, how you gonna say this lawsuit has the gun? You gotta at the same time prove, you gotta be able to presume that I'm innocent, right? Until they prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I'm guilty. That's the impossible burden if you can't prove that I had the gun. Like you not only you okay, even if you say that's me or whatever, right? Okay, you saying that it shows that I shot 6 times into a police car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you ain't asked Dexter Antonio Loss who did it. No, you said Dexter Antonio Lawson did it. You went on national news and you said Dexter Antonio Lawson shot 6 rounds into a police car.
You hear him? He went on that. They went on national news, okay, on national news, and said that about him. Okay, who we've heard that before. We have heard that before where someone went on national news. It's everywhere. Now, mind you, I don't know which national news it was on because my first time hearing of this man was last night when I found this video.
Mm.
Okay. Queen Black says Steve Harvey can play this guy. Yeah,
Oh my God.
he sure
Look,
can.
look, that's the thing. He thinks that just because something came on the local news is national, child. He's oh dang.
Life Unleashed said, I wonder how many times has he been in prison and in which jail cell did he get his law degree? That is a
Okay.
good question. The more he talks, the more I think of that character from In Living Color. What was it? Oswald Bates. That Damon Wayans used to play,
Oh
where he was the
yes.
prisoner
Yes,
and
Lord have
talking.
mercy.
Yeah,
Talking like T.I. Talking
yep,
like a cross between Mike Tyson and T.I.
yep,
Child.
yep, absolutely.
Oh, and it's in the newspaper. This on Facebook. It's on Instagram. It's everywhere. So and then you got a trial while I'm in Quincy. So I mean, why is you doing all that if you got the proof? They don't even display the bullet. They don't even display the gun on the news. Like they know because they ain't got no fingerprints on the gun. How you gonna be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I had a gun and it's not my fingerprints on the gun? Okay, by you saying that I had on gloves, right? Okay, by you saying I had on gloves, that don't change the fact that my fingerprint on the gun, you can't prove premeditated murder. It's premeditated first degree attempted murder, right? You can't.
So they can't prove anything because he had on he had on gloves. But this would prove why his prints and DNA isn't on there because he had on gloves. He's
Mm-hmm.
already put himself on the scene, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
And he
all of
said at the beginning, if I'm not wrong, I thought I heard him say multiple times, I had gloves on and she didn't see them.
right, exactly.
She's saying all this, but she didn't see my gloves. She didn't
Right.
see my gloves.
Right, exactly. It's too complicated. Said, dude, just give it up already. Tell the judge you're guilty. And tell me that part said I came in late and I already know this dude is cooked. Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is not a plan. This is just something that transpired. I know nothing about a video. I don't know no camera and no truck. Okay, so it's like
I didn't plan this. It just transpired. I I ain't know nothing about no videos. Okay. All right.
they don't got all the evidence. You paint a picture without proof. Then you saying that okay, oh, even though he ain't got ain't no fingerprints on the gun, it's a possibility that he still had the gun. No, if I touch that gun, I'm grabbing that gun. If it's my gun, I'm grabbing that gun. I ain't got no gloves on while I'm grabbing the gun as mine. Okay, who would say the host of mine? You know what I mean? It just you can say what you want to say, but if you have no proof, cause it's three sides of the story. It's my side, your side, and the truth. Okay, and if you set the rules and you say, okay, you need proof. Beyond the proof is direct evidence. Proof is direct evidence. Proof is I know for a fact that he did that. Anything outside of proof is speculation, intuition, circumstantial evidence.
If it's no proof, it's intuition and speculation, okay? Like spades, all right? Black but not bitter said one of the jurors is doing a crossword puzzle.
I would be. I don't
You
need
know,
to listen no more. If I was on this jury, because here's my thing. I was gonna say, how long do they let this man go on and on and on and on and on anyway? Because
yeah.
he's saying the same thing over and over and over and over.
Shelly C said, "Is this Nesto?" I don't know, but it's his cousin. I know that much. 80% Simon said he's about to say college. I ain't go to no damn
Colin.
college. I went to job
Job.
scope.
Oh.
But there's no proof.
Oh
It's
God.
speculation and intuition and circumstantial evidence, okay?
Anything outside of proof, and you say proof beyond a reasonable doubt. That means that more than proof. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you got less than proof. You got circumstantial evidence that, and you got to also prove that I was on the scene. Okay, yeah, I was on the scene, but you got to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I did what y'all said I did. And with the ramming, okay, how you gonna be able to prove that I wasn't trying to flee? How you gonna be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I tried to kill her with a car? And y'all can see that it was the truck and the car wasn't even that far apart. Okay.
How y'all gonna prove? Because as y'all can see, the truck and the car wasn't that far apart. So how you gonna prove that I tried to attempt murder her? Okay, just
Nothing he is saying makes any damn sense. I'm done. Oh my God.
yeah, he's just about done.
Oh my God. Do they stop? Oh, he is done.
Yeah, he's done. He's
I was gonna
done.
say, did they stop him? He just decided on his own he was done.
Yeah,
He dropped the mic on him.
uh-huh.
The fuck? He did that.
He- Tony said, "Is Lamont Dunbar the $50 lawyer?"
That would be too much. That would be too expensive.
So there is someone here on YouTube named Ladybug, and like I said, I'm gonna put the links to his trial in the description of this video in case anybody wants to go and watch it, because we won't be doing that. But
No, thank
if you
God.
want to watch it, I'm gonna put the links in. But let me go and
Oh,
let me
I
go.
lost. I lost
Huh?
brain cells. I lost brain cells.
Well, first let me get, because I got member milestones and I didn't do my.
How could I forget that I had given her an extra key? All this time she was standing there, she never took her eyes off. Banging on the banging on the banging on the banging on the bathroom, banging on the banging on the banging on the banging on the bathroom, banging on the 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 banging on the. How could I forget that I had given her an extra key? All this time she was standing there, she never took her eyes off.
I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. I said,
Okay. I had to do all of that because I know it was some super chats and things like that that came in and member milestones, and I didn't do it then. Because I didn't want y'all to miss that wonderful those arguments. So them folks said scared the hell out of me with those fireworks. Y'all know just how I be trying to be all grandiose and whatnot with stuff. That's why it takes me so long to get back to my place, because I've got so many of these different backdrops and stuff like that.
This background is super cute, though. It's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I love, I just don't like the same thing, and I don't want to keep showing y'all the same thing because y'all might, get bored or whatever. So I try to be as interesting as possible. Leo Lady said the poof is in the pudding. That was his, I believe, Black but Not Bitter. I believe that was his closing, but it might still have been part of his opening, because I just could not watch all of the opening. It was too much. But I want to tell you, the guy whose channel I found that on, he was very thorough, and I want to read to y'all like what happened. Where is it? Okay, it's right here. Let me get it. Okay, so he says, worst opening trial statement ever. Dexter Antonio Lawson, 38, made a few bad decisions in 2021. He went on his bike to Hardee's, then decided to steal a plumbing truck and to drive it to Gadsden County from Tallahassee, Leon County. A cop eventually found him and turned on the lights. He decided to ram his truck against her vehicle and then to take a few shots on top of that. His defense is America is not a fair place. Dexter represented himself at trial. The state was represented by State Attorney Jack Campbell, which, like I said, you'll find more of all of that on the Ladybug channel. And let me see. It says, yeah, if you want to see more of the trial, you can go there. So, and of course, he was found. He was found guilty. And if
No.
I was a juror, he would have.
No.
I
Why?
would have found him guilty during his opening statements.
Wow.
Life Unleashed says this is the funniest doppelganger I've ever seen. Usually doppelgangers are scary, but Nesto is hilarious. I wanted to take the time out to do this video because, like I said, I'm moving into doing, I will still cover Nesto stuff, but I am moving into doing other things. And I'm going to be doing interrogations is also going to be something that I add to it. And I've got some pretty funny ones. And Native and I will be doing one on Friday that, God. I was so into this that I was like, wait a minute. I wonder if it's some body cam. So I went digging
I
around
know.
and I found the body cam. The one that we're doing Friday, I actually found body cam footage. So, but this guy, I couldn't find any. I looked, but I couldn't find any. So I just wanted to, like, as I'm introducing stuff, I want to take a more funnier approach because, this is true crime. And I know that it's not going to always be funny like I be trying to make it, but I just want to show it, some funny things because it can be. Miss Mad About Music says why he was an innocent man. I was there, but she didn't see me in my tan jacket, so how's she gonna say that's me?
Right.
And
She
she didn't
didn't see
even
his
say I had on
gloves.
gloves. That's right.
Right.
And how's that my gun? They found that in the woods. Anybody could have put something.
Anybody could have shot her. Anyway.
And you say, four, not one, not two, not three. I didn't even know there was six. So I'm just. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. If I missed a super chat, I am so sorry. If you gave a super chat and I didn't read it, go ahead and put. If you can put it in the comments right now, I'll read the comment because I'm not. I heard them come in, but I never saw them, and I can't seem to find them, and I don't remember where to look on here. So I do apologize if I did miss any. Tony says criminals are funny. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, especially when they represent themselves.
In
And if
court.
you missed, I think last Thursday I did the 911 calls, and they were, I had some hilarious ones on there. There'll be some serious stuff that I'll do. And then I'm also going to do the parole board. I've got a couple of those, put up that I'm working on that I'm going to do. So let me see. Attitude Tylenol said, I don't think you missed anything. Yeah, I hope I got everything. And, I thank y'all for being here. And I would like to thank Vlenore for being here for this foolishness.
Well, thank you
listening
for having me. This was fun.
listening to this man and his big words. But I will have links in the description in case anybody wants to see the rest of this mess, okay?
Yes. No,
But
I don't think I could take another minute of
no.
this. So I think I'm good.
Mm-mm.
And one last thing, if you cannot identify his big head, it wasn't him. Okay? That's that on that. Lexi Moon, thank you for having me.
I appreciate you being here, V. Lenore.
And
And
I
you
was
can catch well, I don't know. V. Lenore might be missing in action, this here month. I'm not sure. But anyway.
I'll be around. I'll be around. I'm gonna have you on soon because I told you there's a couple body cams I want
Yeah.
you to do with me.
Yeah.
So okay.
I will be back on tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Third? Yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a body cam day for me tomorrow.
All
So,
righty. All
but
right.
thank you so much, Vlenore. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for this being here with this foolishness.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me, and thank you, Moonlighters. I'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Say says the one where the guy kept calling 911 because his phone didn't work was hilarious. Oh, I forgot about that. Yes. Oh, yes, that was hilarious. So, thank you for the super chats, the member milestones. Thank you for being here for this foolishness. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for my co-host V Lenore. And y'all be safe out there. We've only got 2 more days. There's tomorrow and there's Friday. I will be back tomorrow at either 9 or 10, and Native and I will be on Friday. Y'all, please try to stay cool and hydrated. Some places it is very, very hot. Okay. So, check on if you have any elderlies in your community or in your family. Make sure you check on them. Make sure that they are staying cool and hydrated and everything. And y'all take care of yourselves. Y'all have a good night. Shout out to the Marvelous Moonlight Mods. I really appreciate you. Like I said, the super chats, the member milestones. Thank you so much. And I will be back on here tomorrow. But until then, got one more thing I'm going to play for y'all, and then we're going to get out of here. Okay.
Hey, so tell us your side. What happened?
Hey, I'm an innocent bystander. They saying I drove a getaway car, but I cannot see. I'm legally blind. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm innocent.
Yeah.